who are Trump supporters in the past. And I think it's important that we create a space where it is still open to do that, right? Um, 100%. So I just want to make sure that we continue to do those types of things. And I do have a lot to talk about besides just this. To be, if you want me to really like Frank, I put that on there first and foremost, just for a boost. Good morning, everybody. Because I do have a lot to talk about. I meant to go live last night, and instead I went to sleep. Is what it is, right? Um, but that is okay. Let me see if I can do this really quick and then we'll go from there. Hello, everybody. How are you guys? Why is this not doing? Oh, now I know why. Do I need it to be here? Yeah, let's do that. All right. If you are joining me on the U of Tube, the U of Tube, and the the stack of sub and the book of faces, please make sure that you say hello. That way I can greet you. Hey, Tara. What's up, Nance? How are you? Good to see everybody. What's up, Veronica and Lisa and Sherry and Cynthia and Katz and Mary Shaw and all the people? I appreciate you greatly. I have a lot that I do want to talk about today. A lot. And You got your, oh yeah, you got 107 days. I have mine right here as well. I hope to get into a little bit of it today as well. So for those of you guys who do not know, we have been reading 107 days, which I read the first It's Therapy today. Oh, I'm so glad you have therapy today. That is fantastic for you. Super glad that you have therapy today. Um, What's oh boy, the headline is going to bring them. That's the hope, Red Hot. That is the hope. Hey Hiba, how are you? I am. I hope that you are well. I am going to talk. So what I've started to do is to kind of like have like segments of how I want to go through things because there's a lot happening in the U.S. and there is definitely sending you lots of good luck and positivity, good energy, prayers, all the things, Tina Noel. Um, um, Thank you, Red Hot. And I may be playing that as well. I do have it pulled up and ready to go. Hey, Leslie. What's up, Dugald? Good to see you. Hello, Merlot and Cheryl and C and Dilgrave and all the people and Donna. But so here's the thing: there are a ton of things that are happening in the U.S. And I have to talk about those things because people need to be aware of what's going on here. Yeah, Veronica, I know. What's up, N8 Roxy? Good morning. Hey, Katrina. And then we are going to talk about Gaza a little bit. Yep, Blue Honey Pot. I'm going to do that as well. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I ended up going on to Abu Saraj's live. What's up, Jeremiah? What's up, Luna's people? Thank you, Candy Kiss. I appreciate that. You will not be me when you want to grow up. You will be you, and you will be the best, most amazing version of you. What's up, beautiful? How are you? Hey, Cam, good to see you. Hey, Rachel. So listen, I have, I do have the video from yesterday and from yesterday, geez, oh Pete, from Saturday, my speech from Saturday. It is there. I have it. I may play it for you. Good morning. And what's up, Jen? Good to see you. Um, yeah, you saw the lady come in. What do you mean you were there and saw that lady come in? Oh, on on Abu Siraj's, yeah, you know. Yep, we're going to talk about all of that, folks. We're going to talk about everything from this weekend. But listen to me when I say this. I've got like some thanks, Blue Honey Pot. I appreciate that. Um and so listen, I know that the title is like weird, but here's the thing. And I actually somebody remind me to get to no, not really Marie Taylor, not really. But I can touch on it. Good morning, Bobby. So I need someone to remind me. See, this is why I need to not read comments before I say something. Oh, there it is. Somebody remind me to get with Brett Cross today. I do have a live goal set. I don't know where it went. That's so weird. Yeah, there it is. But it's weird. It's like I can't. It's showing it and then not showing it. It's being really funky and weird. Um, so you see it now? Yeah, see here. I don't know. It is what it is, right? Okay, so listen. So I do want to talk to Brett. What's up, Hiba? Thank you for the gifts. Good morning, Joy from Texas. So listen, I want to talk to Brett because I think I want to start doing part of Tuesdays. I want Tuesday to be 2A Tuesday. And I would love to be able to have a conversation. Thank you, Sitter. I would love to be able to get him on for maybe like 30 minutes to an hour on Tuesdays. So I'm going to talk to him, see what he's got going on and that sort of thing. So yes, I would like to have Tuesdays, at least a segment of Tuesday be to a Tuesday. And so like today won't be an entire like welcome MAGA live, right? But what it will be is it will also be like a portion of this. I want to be dedicated to hi Mom Doll. I want a portion of today to be dedicated to having conversations with people of opposing views. It's one of the things that I love to do most. Salam Raja. It's one of the things that I don't get to do a ton. And so I just need a reminder. Somebody remind me to reach out to Brett, and so that I can ask him about doing that on Tuesdays with me. And then like on Wednesdays, I do want to have Wednesdays focus on some of the things that we see happening all over the world and with women, right? So the world and women on Wednesdays, and just different things like that. You get what I'm saying? You sent me in my inbox for Brett. Okay, great, thanks. My inbox is not the best place to be reminded me, but I appreciate the effort. Thanks, beautiful. Yeah, which I appreciated. By the way, which the kids loved all their stuff, which made me some beautiful things. I will share them with you guys when she brought them to me at the event this past Saturday. So for those of y'all who aren't aware, on Saturday, I was in Washington County, Virginia, which is in the Southwest Virginia area, for their county party Donkey Day. As you all know, the donkey is the symbol of the Democratic Party. I'm not really sure who chose that shit or for what reason, but okay, it is. And so that was their thing. It was Donkey Day, and so I was there for that as the keynote speaker, and spoke for about 30 minutes on Saturday. I do have that speech. It's ready for me to upload and to share. I may play it for you guys as well. And there's a lot of things that we got to talk about today. A ton of things. Thank you, Sandy. Oh, thanks, Raja. Yeah, for those of y'all who maybe you don't know, yeah, the elephant is for Republican. And so let me just say this. Yep, I'll talk about the combo with Kane, and I will share with you kind of my thoughts about it and what I'm doing. Thanks, Farah. Yeah, so I have the video here that I can play for you guys as well. I think I'm also going to take it and Greg Baker, I don't know why you keep commenting all over my Facebook saying, what is the T. Kilgore report? I explained to you that I already covered it on one of my lives, whatever day I told you that I did. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why you're so fervently adamant about it. I mean, you do support Terry Kilgore, right, Greg? I mean, from what I could tell from your page, which I normally don't go check out people's pages, but you have just commented everywhere you can on my page. What's the Terry Kilgore thing? So I needed to go see who you were. So I understand that you're an attorney. I understand that you're in Southwest Virginia, and I understand that you are a Terry Kilgore supporter, correct? Good morning, guys. I'll wait for you to type and answer me. Hey, Michael. Oh, I know, Winn-Dixie. I'm very aware. It's ever since I put up that status that said, wow, who knew I was going to get to, talk about some information with regard to Terry Kilgore. Ever since then, he has, I don't believe you, Greg, when you say not necessarily. because I've seen your page. I've seen your page. I've seen your pictures with him. Right. So like, I don't know that I believe you. And I don't really care if you support him or not. The bottom line is, I mean, you could, I tell you what, Greg, if you, I mean, you're an attorney, so you should probably be able to get the information. So here's what I would recommend is I would contact the Virginia Board of Elections, right? Ask them about Terry's paperwork for this year. Ask them about his first batch of paperwork that was submitted, and then the second quote unquote corrected copy of paperwork. Ask them how his 501 his things change. Gotcha. Understand that. So here's what I would say is ask them, because you're an attorney, so you're a great person to ask these questions, right? Because I don't have the answers to the questions. All I have are the paperwork. I have both sections of paperwork that were FOIA requested, right? And here's what I can tell you is that when Terry's first 501, which is your like, that's your paperwork to become to be a candidate, right? To be put on the ballot. When you submit that paperwork, you know, it's notarized and all of that, and it goes to the Board of Elections, and they stamp that they received it. I got you, Sandy. And then from there, if there's anything wrong with that paperwork, they reach out to you. They tell you to get it corrected. They whatever, right? So his original paperwork was done in like February, is my understanding. I'd have to look it up to be sure. But his original paperwork was submitted, I believe, on Valentine's Day of this year. What's interesting about his original 501, that very first one that was received, Greg, is that there was no signature on it and it was notarized. So you're an attorney, Greg. So you tell me, is someone supposed to notarize paperwork without a signature on it and without that person signing it in front of them? Because my understanding is that's not supposed to be the case. My understanding is that it is not legal to notarize paperwork when there is not a signature on it, and that the person is supposed to actually sign it in front of you. So you shouldn't notarize it without a signature, and you shouldn't notarize it with a signature if the person didn't sign it in front of you. That's my understanding as how notaries work. Okay, so Greg, here's what I can tell you is that Terry's first paperwork. Hold on, let me see if I can grab a snapshot for you, Greg, and I'll share it on the screen. Hold on one second, okay? I am tickled. Not people sending me screenshots of campaign donations while I'm live. I love people so much. You were a nerdery, Nance? Okay, great. So let me pull this up. Y'all be patient with me for 1 second because I wasn't planning on covering this morning. But I'm going to, yeah, y'all listen, my people are real ones, Melinda. Somebody literally is pulling up campaign donations and sending me pictures of them while I'm live. Hilarious. But give me 1 second. All right, so hold on. I want to show you, Greg. So these are the questions that I have around this paperwork. And I'll tell you what I have. Is that good or bad? I think it's good for me. I love the fact that that people want to add context to the conversation, you know, because context does matter, right? So I'm just going to be honest, right? The way that my reaction to Greg is partially, it's going to be biased, right? My reaction is going to be biased because most of the people that I know that are Terry Kilgore supporters that live in Southwest Virginia, those people are not friendlies for me. Like, right? So my interaction with you, I'm automatically going to be like, yeah, you know what? I don't you're not my people. That's where I would start. And I'm being honest about my bias. But my bias comes based on experience. My experience is people in Southwest Virginia that are Republican, that are Terry Kilgore fans, that are whatever, those people normally aren't Danny Cook fans, and they normally don't mean me well, if I'm being honest, right? So that's why you got the reaction that you got from me, and because you've been so dogged about it. Thanks, Nancy. I appreciate that. And because you have been so, what about Terry? What about Terry? What about Terry? It automatically makes me suspect of you, right? This is the thing you have to love about the internet, y'all. Great seeing you too, Spicy Rick. Yeah. So give me 1 second. Yeah, I know. So hold on, Greg. Let me just share with you. I'm going to walk you through the timeline as I know it, based on the emails that I've received and the paperwork. Okay. So let me show you. Give me 1 second. And so let me see if I can show you. All right. So I'm going to share my screen, Greg. Okay. So that you can see what I'm looking at. So, all right, let me take this down. I'm going to remove this for a second. And I'm going to hide the chat overlay. All right. So, and let me do this. All right. So, Greg, can you see this paperwork right here? I'm going to see if I can't make it bigger for you. And I'm going to scroll down. So if you can see the paperwork, Greg, that I'm showing you, it is notarized and there's no signature, right? And it was done February the 14th of this year. And so my understanding is that the folks FOIA'd and they asked for this signature. They asked for this paperwork. Greg is on Facebook. Janice, he's on Facebook. And so when someone FOIA'd this paperwork for whatever reason, they saw that it was notarized, but it did not have a signature. So then the next question that was posed to the Virginia Board of Elections is, if someone submits a 501 and it is not signed, then can they still be on the ballot, right? And understand something, that several FOIA requests were done. And it's weird that the very first time, hey, everybody, the very first time somebody sent a FOIA, this is what they got. And then after I posted, Greg, that I was going to be talking about this something with Terry Kilgore, the thing that got your attention, after I posted that, miraculously, a second piece of paperwork was provided by the Board of Elections saying that it was the quote unquote corrected one. The corrected one, I still gives me questions, right? And here's why. So number one, if there is a corrected copy that came a month later, right? And I'm not sure of the date, I'll pull it up in just a second. But my thing is if you received corrected paperwork, okay, why did you send this paperwork to someone when they first FOIA'd it, right? Because if I submit paperwork, candidates do this all the time, where they submit paperwork and then they've got to correct something, right? And they've got to get it done. But that final paperwork is the final paperwork that you would be sending someone to respond to a FOIA request. Am I making sense, Greg? So so it wasn't until after I said I was going to be covering Terry that there was a second one that was done, and it was FOIA twice. And what it looks like, let me just be clear, what it looks like is that the person that notarized it, who I believe is Bree Strauss, it, based on social media posts, it looks like she works for Terry. Because, and the reason why I say that is on April 1st, Terry put up a Facebook post about the Orange Blossom Bakery and Creamery in Gate City, right? And getting some ice cream. And when he made that post, somebody commented on it and said, you know, if you took one of those to Bree Strauss, She might get more work done in the office, just saying. So that made it seem, right? That made it seem as if maybe she works for Terry, right? Follow me? Am I making sense, Greg, so far with everything that I've said? So then what happened is after all of that, let me see. I'm trying to get you the quote unquote corrected paperwork. Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. So now let me share my screen. She does work there. Okay. So what it looks like is, if she works for him, what it looks like is the notary notarized that original paperwork with no signature, and she works in his office. Okay. And so this is the second paperwork that was submitted. And what's interesting about this is the quote unquote corrected one that we just got. But things that I wish you could see this clearer. And this is why I didn't want to just do it on a live. I wanted to actually do like a little short video of me. Yep, Carla, I got it. Appreciate you, Farah. And I wanted to do a little short video so that you can very clearly see the paperwork. Because when I'm live, sometimes it's minimized and it's not as easy to tell. But give me a second, Greg, and I'm going to see if I can't magnify this so that you can see it. Okay. 1 second. And I'm going to be 100% transparent. If you know me, I'm not a Terry Kilgore fan. I don't care for him because of ballot health and some other things like that. So that's where I'm honest about my bias. I don't like him because he helped create a medical monopoly that has been horrible for the people in the region. Like, that's just me being honest. But okay, you see down here, I don't know if you can really see. I'm going to try to make it a little bit larger again. All right, so can you see this area right here, Greg? When you zoom in on that area, it looks like whiteout and ink has been used. I'm not making that allegation. I'm saying it looks different, right? And what's also interesting is on this corrected paperwork, it has the date of the primary, but the other paperwork had the November date. Sorry, you guys, hold on 1 second. And so that was interesting to me. And then when you look at just like the paperwork in general, it looks like, see how this 2 and this 5, they have different ink. Some of it, and this 2029, like, it just looks different. Okay. But so it says that this paperwork was done on March 25th of 2025. So my question is, if this paperwork was done in March of this year and nobody FOIA'd this paperwork until months and months later, why wasn't this the paperwork that was given to someone if it was received in March instead of the other paperwork? Am I making sense? And so, like, the fact that the entire line is gone on this form, like, where's the line on this form? So what I know to be true is that when people FOIA'd this stuff and they had questions about it, they talked to different media outlets. They talked to different people in the offices, and it seems problematic. It seems problematic to me, right? And here's what I can tell you, Greg. What I can tell you is that when people ask questions, one of the things that was said to them was, well, it wouldn't be nice to take someone off the ballot who's been in office for 31 years. Hey, Pamela. And so those are the questions that I had about this paperwork. And the reason why people brought it to me is because they took it to different media outlets, even CNN, Greg, and nobody would touch it. No, they were like, "Ooh, that's a great story, but we can't run it. Oh, that's a great story, but they'll never let me talk about it. That's a great story, but whatever." And so those people finally said, Danny will talk about it, because I will. I will talk about things that other people won't talk about because I believe that people should know. Right. I agree that it makes no difference, Greg. I'm 100% with you. So the questions that I have, so the first thing that I say is, it would appear that Bree could be in trouble because as a notary, she notarized something that didn't have a signature. And that's outside of the corrected paperwork. Even if paperwork was corrected at some point, which I don't really know the circumstances around that. But even if that is true, right? She notarized something that had no signature, which, if I'm not mistaken, can get her notary license removed. That's what my understanding of how it works is. So, like, that would be number one. I don't know, beautiful. I think that he's always been on Facebook and that's where he's found me. So, like, so there's just like multiple questions. And so here's what I recommended. And of course, you're an attorney, Greg, so you could do this, or anybody in your office could do this. What I said to people who really want to know, to fill in the gaps, right? So, because there are things that I don't have. I don't have all the communication in between. So here's what I recommended. I recommended to the people that were concerned about this to send another FOIA request. And I would FOIA, if it were me, I would be FOIAing any and all communication between February the 14th, which is the date of the first paperwork, right? Through last Friday, between the Board of Elections, Terry Kilgore, Bree Strauss, and anyone else in his office, and the people that, like, whoever stamped and said, "Oh, I received this at the BOE." And I would be asking for all emails, all documents, all memos, whatever, because then you can actually fill in the gaps and see what transpired. What did the Board of Elections do when they received paperwork that was notarized but not signed? Who did they contact? What did they say? Any of those things. You know what I mean? That's what I would be. I would want that done. Yes, Iberio. But that's what I would do. I would want to FOIA it so that I could see, what did the Board of Elections do when they notified his office? Did they notify him? Did they notify someone at his campaign? Did they notify Bree? What was the communication between, the Board of Elections and Bree? Does he have an opponent? Yes, he does, Greg. He does have an opponent. He does. For the first time in a very long time, he does have an opponent this year. Yep, he sure does. That's beautiful. I got you. Yeah. So they're asking me, and Greg, you're an attorney. You might know better than me. They're asking me, shouldn't his candidacy be invalid? And this is my thing. I can't tell you, because it's that second corrected paperwork that becomes an issue. Like, how it was done, when it was done. And that is why I say there needs to be a FOIA, because here's the thing. His paperwork was FOIA'd twice. And it wasn't until after I posted I was going to talk about his paperwork, that I was going to be talking about Terry Kilgore. It wasn't until I posted that this corrected document materialized. And that, to me, just makes me curious. Yeah. For those of you all who are in Southwest Virginia, this, we're talking, and you were on with me whatever day it was last week that I talked about this issue with the, yeah. So my understanding, Greg, is that my understanding is that people are aware and people know, and I don't know. I can't tell you why people are doing what they're doing. I can't tell you why media outlets aren't covering it, because they should be. And it's not about whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. It's about the legitimacy of the process, and that we don't make exceptions for people just because they've been in office for a very long time, right? We want to have the process done in a way that, is above reproach. And so this is why I said what I would recommend to anybody living in Southwest Virginia or Virginia at all is I would be doing a FOIA request, and I would be asking for specifically any and all communication regarding Terry Kilgore's 501 paperwork and Bree Strouth's notary that occurred between February 14th and September 26th. Like, that's what I would be doing, because I would want to fill in all of the gaps. And that's what I think people should do. I agree, Greg. The process should be even-handed. And it's not. It's not. And like, for me, I've said this a bunch. I know that people are like, Denny's this crazy, wild, liberal, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care what people say about me. The thing about it is I care about what's best for people, period. That's what I care about, 100%. And the same way that I feel like, ballot health wasn't what was best for people is, the same way I feel about the rest of this. I don't know why this is getting so big. It's not what I want for it to do. There we go. So anyway, so this is what a court should be asked to weigh in. I would love for someone to get a court to weigh in, Greg. I mean, is that something you would be willing to do as a lawyer? Because I 100% think a court should be asked to weigh in. Yeah, guys, we do have a lot to talk about, and I'm going to get there as quickly as I can. Yeah. Yes, Dayglow. Yes. Uh-huh. Oh, thanks, Juno. I appreciate that. I think I'm gonna play it too as well, Judo. I mean, you probably know how to navigate the system more than better than I do. I'm not a lawyer or a paralegal. Um, and so Greg, do you know what I think would be make it amazing? Especially because people know that you have supported him, people know that you are a Republican, and the fact that you are a lawyer. Um, I think it would be amazing. Let me see if I can get the name of his opponent, because maybe you could just, you don't have standing, but his opponent does. Are you in his district though? Because I wonder if you would have standing as a constituent, even if you're not the opponent. Like, because I can think of two people that could be harmed by this. One would be the opponent, obviously, but one could also be the people, right? So I would think, and I am not a lawyer, you are, but I would think that both the people who are constituents in that district, as well as the opponent, could have standing in court. But I'd be happy to, no, you don't think so? Okay, maybe, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But let me see if I can get his opponent's name. And I'm happy to provide it to you. And if it's okay with you, I'll give his opponent your name. And maybe you could just say, hey, you have standing because of this. Okay, you're not in his district. Okay, got it. That's what I was asking is, are you in his district? Okay. So basically anybody in the district and or his opponent would have standing to approach this in court? Josh Outsey, Outsey. Josh Outsey. That's Terry's opponent, Greg. And some folks might, they may say, "Hey, Josh, there's a lawyer named Greg Baker that can tell you, how to go about challenging it in court." And you don't have to be given legal advice. You can just be saying, "Hey, looks like you might have standing, and you might, have a court weigh in." Right, Lisa, 100%. Yeah, she said his opponent would have a better chance of arguing harm. In your opinion, yes, love that. Yeah, and I just want to be clear for everybody, nobody on here is giving legal advice. Nobody is giving legal advice. I got you covered, Greg. Nobody is giving legal advice. We are just offering our opinions based on what it seems. Well, I think everyone should care, Christine, who is in Virginia, and I'll tell you why. Here's why I think everyone should care. Even if you're not in Terry's district, everyone should care that paperwork was accepted and stamped by the Virginia Board of Elections that was notarized without a signature. Everyone should be concerned about that. If you live in the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, that should be concerning to you because your Board of Elections should be on their game. Right? Anyone that cares about, just, the fairness of our practice, right? Right, exactly. And so this is what I'm saying, whether you're in Terry's district or not, but I would say the notary stands in the position to have her whatever it is, your licensure, certification, whatever it is that they get. I would think that that's it. And let me just say this, because I don't know Greg, you guys. Indemnity blocked. Thank you, Scotty. See, y'all know the language. I don't. But let me say this. Okay. I have always said that there is a difference between there's to me, there's like variations of Republicans out there, right? Like Judo was just in here. And so we know Judo is a moderate Republican, right? And there are certain things that he just doesn't agree with. And that can be true of anyone. That can be true of anyone. So like I said, I had a bias when Greg kept asking me, like, I'm not here for the okie doke, right? And having said that, there are some people who are Republicans that say, yeah, listen, I'm a Republican and I actually believe in a level playing field and the rule of law and no exceptions for that, and for all I know, Greg is one of those people. I don't know if Greg is one of those people or not. What I would say is it appears to be, because he's not on here saying it shouldn't be challenged in court. As a matter of fact, he said a court should be asked to weigh in. So the fact that he says, hey, I think a court should weigh in, that to me tells me maybe maybe it's a deal. Because when I said it looks like you're a supporter, and he said, no, not necessarily. You're interested in it in from that perspective, you mean? Is that what you say when you're saying hold on one second. I'm trying to fix my TikTok goal thing that comes up. And I hate it when they put the little icons in different positions and it jacks me up. You said you call them like you see them. Good. And that's what needs to happen. Like legitimately. I don't care who you are. People should be calling it like they see it. I'm kind of the same way, Greg. I definitely call it like I see it. People don't like that sometimes. And I don't care that people don't like that. I call them like I see it. And I put human beings pretty much over everything. Do I want, do I support people making profits in capitalism? Sure. I don't support capitalism at the expense of people, right? And just like I do in Southwest Virginia, the people in the region hurt. They hurt a lot, whether it comes to jobs and wages, whether it comes to healthcare and hospitals closing. like whatever it is, it, you know, it matters. And so that for me is where I come up at the end of the day, you know? So, oh, thanks, Linda. I appreciate that. Yeah, so that was what it was. And so Greg, what I will be doing is I will make a post about it. I've been kind of all over the place. You agree with me? The Virginia Department of Elections should be held to answer. I thank you. I agree. I think the Department of Elections, along with the notary's office, should everybody should answer. And it's so important right now. Probably the most important thing at all is going to be that sequence of events from February 14th, which is when that first document is said to have been, you know, notarized and all of that. And hey, Jeff, how are you? And then leading up right up until last Friday, because I think it's important. Whatever communication has happened between the Department of Elections and Kilgore's office or Kilgore's campaign, including the notary, all of that information the public deserves to see. They need to know who said what to whom at what time. I mean, memos, emails, you know, me, I've even FOIA'd text messages, because what people don't understand is if you are an elected official and you use your personal cell phone for public business, like in your role as a delegate or whatever, then it is subject to a FOIA. And a lot of people do not understand that. I'm a big fan of the Freedom of Information Act, and the way that you can use it. I literally, Greg, you'll get a kick out of this as an attorney. So when I was leading the protest against ballot health, and the folks at Kingsport were really not happy with me, especially their board of mayor and aldermen, I FOIA'd, what did I say? I said, emails, memos, letters, notes, and text messages regarding me and the protest, whatever, right? And it was specifically from the members of the board of aldermen, and I gave a window of time. And because of that FOIA request, I actually got the text messages from what's his name, James Phillips, Dennis Phillips' son, because the people at the public library of all places, the public library and James Phillips were texting about me getting a library card. There was a text message that said, Danny Cook is at the circulation desk getting a library card. And I was like, is that a dangerous thing for me to have? I mean, I know some people think that books are dangerous, but dear God, am I not allowed to have a library card? And so that's what a lot of people don't realize is if your personal device is being used for official business, it is subject to FOIA. Yeah. And they are required to keep documents for a certain period of time. For some states and things, it's 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, depending upon what type of document it is. Exactly. Greg said it is important. I just believe in transparency and following the rules. FOIA is there to protect the public and root out corruption. 100%. 100%. Sandra Richardson says, I still think you should throw your hat in the ring. No, thank you. No, thank you. Beautiful. I do know that in the past he has been 100%. Salam, Sophia. Yeah, I do know that in the past he has been, like, pictures together, donations, and whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Like, so do you all remember? Let me see if you guys had, I mean, yeah, Dayglow, yeah. But yeah, he's a Republican. Yeah. So listen, for folks who don't kind of understand like how this works, the FOIA is there for this purpose. And FOIA hasn't always existed, you guys. We didn't always have the Freedom of Information Act. We didn't always have the ability to hold our elected officials accountable, and we should, regardless of who they are. No matter what political party they belong to or what their ideology is, we should have the ability to hold them accountable. Period. And we need to be doing things that are in the best interest of the people. Yeah. So let me ask you this: um, how many of you all remember a story that made national news? I want to say in 2019, about a town in Tennessee putting blocks. You're an independent now. You're not a Republican or a Democrat anymore, Greg. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And that, you know what? So, and this is the thing. I think that people, so I saw information. I don't know if you all know this or not, but I saw information just this weekend from the Gallup poll, and they are saying that the approval rating for both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is below 40%. One of them's 38% and one of them is 34%. What the holy hell? So here's what that tells me. It tells me that the average person is tired of the status quo. People are tired of the normal Republican Democrat BS that is hurting people. Period. And we have to do something about that. And if you've watched me long enough, you know that I actually believe that we can. If we only talk about the real issues and how they impact people, we can make change. Greg said, I'm sick of both. Me too. Me too. Um, I just think we have to get to this place of where we are having real conversations about healthcare, about education, about housing, about all of those things, economics, all of those things, and we're not doing it. And I just don't believe that we should be putting. You said you need nothing from anyone except fairness. 100%, Greg. And this is my thing, right? When I think about, so hey Greg, have you seen, I know you probably haven't. I'll post a link in here, or if one of my folks can do it. What's up, old school and solving problems? That last part. Yes, Greg, that. So how do you change your party? So if you are registered as a particular party, you can do that when you update your voter registration information. Not every state has you identify or selects you as that. Some states, they can only see how you voted in the past, but they can't do anything else. So it just depends upon your state. But you can do it through your voter registration office. Okay, but so follow me. So when we talk about like what's happening with Medicaid, so Greg, did you know that and it's I'm losing my Centers for, it's one of the think tanks out there. Anyway, they broke down the big huge bill that just passed this summer, right? And they did it specifically for Virginians. And whenever I think about how something impacts Virginia and Tennessee, I always pay close attention, because you know that nobody south of Roanoke is cared about, and nobody north of Knoxville is cared about, or east of Knoxville is cared about. They just act like that whole region doesn't exist, and it harms people, right? So I actually put together graphics, Greg. Let me see if I can show you. I can show you based on district the constituents, that the number of people that stand to lose their Medicaid benefits, or all or some of their SNAP benefits by the end of 2034 because of the bill. And that to me is what people should be talking about. People should be talking about what's it going to be like. And especially back home, 70% of ballots patients are on Medicare or Medicaid. Gotcha. So let me see if I can show you real quick. And I put these graphics and I made them available for people. Ah, interesting. Okay, so let me see. I've got them right here. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Yes. So Greg said cutting Medicaid for this area you just described are going to be decimated. Exactly. So check. So Greg, this is stuff that I did in my own time, right? Hey Ethan, good to see you. So I looked up this stuff, and then I actually went into the state's website. So did you all know that if you are in Virginia, you can actually go to your state, and your state will tell you how many people in different counties are actually on. And in Virginia, it's called cardinal care, right? So Virginia, these are congressional districts. 16,000 people in District 1 are projected to lose their Medicaid by 2034 because of the bill. This is SNAP. 12,000 people will lose some or all of their SNAP in Virginia because of this bill, right? And then District 2, it's 20,000 people. So like, Greg, I made all of these graphics, and I put them in my Google Drive and my link tree so that people could access the information so that they would know, because too many people don't know that this is what is happening and what this is going to look like and how it would impact them, right? And so when I think about what is happening when I think about what's happening in the country, and no, I don't want you to do that. I want to do this, please. When I think people won't be able to survive, that Greg said people can't survive. No, they won't be able to survive. And this is, I think, when so many people, Shanna says it's going to be bad. I get Medicaid and Section 8. You'll be homeless and without needed medical care. All right. So Shanna, hear me when I say this. Don't say you're going to be, say that's what you're facing. Just be careful with your words. If people don't think that the words matter, but they do. How you talk about it shifts your perspective and your energy around it, right? So, Greg, this is when I think, and this is just me talking because I don't know you from Adam, right? What I believe is that old school Republicans like you, who are now independents or, have left the party, or who are very frustrated, I think that your voices can be the most powerful in what's happening, right? I really do. I think that your voices, because people will look at me and say, that damn Danny Cook, she's just crazy. But I'm really not. And I'm actually quite reasonable. If I wasn't reasonable, I would have voted for Jill Stein. I did not vote for Jill Stein. And there's a reason why. Because it's not reasonable. It's not reasonable to close 700 military bases all around the world. I'm a veteran. I know better, right? It's not reasonable to do things like that. And what I am tired of seeing us being able to do is bail out corporations with billions and billions of dollars, but not take care of little people. Every single one of us needs to be anti-corporate, anti-corruption. Y'all hear me? It's anti-corporate, anti-corruption. Because that's where the majority of our money is going in this country, is to corporations. That's how we're losing a ton of our jobs in this country, is corporations. It's all the things. And I think that this is where people need to be going, is anti-corporate, anti-corruption. And nobody should have an argument with that. No one should be mad at that if I say anti-corporate, anti-corruption. Especially, so where I'm from, Greg is from the region where I'm from, you guys, right? Greg said, I've been calling the Republicans out too, because I agree, no more walking the line. You need none of them. Exactly. And this is what I'm saying, right? Is I hate that it has taken us to get to where we are for change to happen. And I can be grateful that we are finally at the place where change is happening. And it's going to happen regardless. If the Republican Party and the Democratic Party don't recognize that you can't get shit done and you will not be getting people's money and whatever, if less than 40% of the people approve of what you're doing, right? If only 34% of the people think you're doing a great job, you're probably not going to keep that job very long. Or people, in this case, for the whole party, people are going to stop voting for you. 34%, 38%. And that's the most recent polling for both parties. So I'm going to tell you something. I have listened to Zohran Mamdani, right? Y'all, I saw a political ad from Mamdani like nothing I've ever seen. And do you want to know what it is? He did a video over the weekend, and listen to what Mamdani said. He said, "Guys, it's me again. I got to do another video to talk to you all about donations." And normally, what do? We brace ourselves because they're asking for more money, right? Mamdani said, "I need you all to stop sending me money." He said, "We've actually raised and spent like the most that we can." Like he was at they cap it as to how much you can spend. He was like, "Don't send anymore. We can't take." When is the last time? I don't care if you like Mamdani or don't, right? But what's crazy is, when is the last time you saw a candidate be able to say, "Don't send me any more money. The people you've sent me more than you've sent me as much as I can have." That's crazy, right? And this is my thing. Do you know what both parties want people to believe? Both parties want candidates to believe that you need the donors and you have to kowtow to whatever the donors want you to do in order to get elected. But Mamdani is proof that that's not true. He is proof that if people believe in your message, and do you know what his platform is? His platform is simply make New York affordable. And I don't know if you all realize this, but there's not that much difference between what it costs to live in Atlanta, Charlotte, or back home in the Tri-Cities. Rent back home is damn near as expensive as it is in Charlotte, in Atlanta, and other places. And that's crazy. How are folks back home charging $1,200 for a one-bedroom apartment? But they are. But they are. Charles, if you I'm from the Tri-Cities, Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia. Charles, if you would like to come up to the panel and talk about your thoughts, I'm happy to have you. I sent you an invitation as well. So I just know, um, I know that we are at this place where people want change. Yeah, it's $1,800 a month for a two-bedroom in Northern Indiana. It's the same in Charlotte. No, you're okay. You're welcome, Greg. You are welcome, and I agree. I can't. I would love for Citizens United to be overturned. That's what I would love. I would love for Citizens United to be overturned so that we could at least get dark money out of politics. Um, I would love to see the way that parties are run become different. And I would like for it to become more about service to the people, because it's not anymore, you know? So no, you're more than welcome. And I hope that helped. And like I said, those are my ideas around a FOIA. And Josh is the person. He's a young guy. I say young, that's because he could be my kid, but my kids are 31 and 27. So but I think he's around 30 years old. Has good ideas about Southwest Virginia. And I personally believe that that region needs change so drastically, so dramatically. It needs change. Um, and it needs people in office that are willing to do something about the healthcare of the region. Greg says a system of unlimited money turns good people into something else. You know what I think, Greg? I don't think that. I don't think that. You know what I've always believed? I don't believe that it's money that makes people bad. I think money amplifies who you are at your core. Because I know people that have unlimited money that are just good people. I do. I know people that have tons of money and they are good people and they do good things and the money did not change them. I think money exacerbates and amplifies who you already are. That's what I think. So, sorry I snapped at you in the beginning, but normally if I think Republican, older, white dude, Southwest Virginia lawyer asking me about Terry Kilgore, normally I do not think that you would be a friend. So I am glad that I got past my bias and we had a conversation and it was helpful. I think that there were a lot of people because there are several hundred people on TikTok as well that are watching, and I think a lot of people benefited from the conversation. So yeah, so and folks, listen, and that's bias, and I said that that was bias. Jeremiah, I said it. Let me just tell you what my biases is. I can own it. I can tell you why I'm approaching you in this manner, right? But the key is to recognize your bias when you have it. Yeah, you're welcome. And to be able to go past the bias. So it would be different if I said, "Oh, because I have this bias, I'm just going to ignore this person or I'm just not going to engage with this person," right? That's when it becomes a problem. But when you can say, "Oh, girl, look at this bias that you have, and let's tread lightly and let's explore what this communication and what this situation might be like," that's when it's good. That's when, and that is how, what we talk about all the time on My Lives. We talk about creating space to create understanding, right? Greg and I now have understanding, right? And that's the part that's really, really critical because once you create understanding with someone, then the way that you engage with them is different. The way that you think about issues that impact them is different, right? Like that's literally what changes everything. The more that we create spaces where we have understanding with each other, right? Then the less likely we are to do things and to vote for things or support people that can cause harm to other people. You know what I mean? And that is how we do it, right? Sure, Juan, you can request up. Sure. I already had me some tea, y'all. It's that time of year where you have like the sinus drainage stuff. I had me some tea before I went live. Right. Yeah, 100%. Listen, I know who normal friendlies are and who they aren't. And so yeah, old school, I watch myself. And I think having grown up in the, I talked about a little bit on Saturday when I was there, right? Um, growing up in the region in the 70s as a biracial person, it was not it was not great. It wasn't fun, in many, many ways. Um, and so I'm just saying, um, it's on us though. It's incumbent upon us to be able to move past those biases and those experiences and make room for new things. Right. Yep. Protect kids, not corporations. Exactly, Lawrence. Exactly. That's the message. That's the message to everybody in leadership positions, right? Protect kids, not corporations. And protect all kids, not just corporations, and not corporations at all, right? So just saying, right. And so this is what I would love to be able to do is to have conversations, more conversations when we are talking about folks that are at different points of intersection, right? Intersectionality. So, if I'm talking about racial justice and things like that, and somebody else is talking about racism versus classism versus sexism versus ableism, like all the isms, and to be able to explore the fact that there are places in which those intersections happen, and all of those things impact they impact us all, right? And so you have to understand the layers of how that shows up, you know, and that creating those places of understanding is how we create a connection with each other, and that is how we overcome the division that seems to permeate everything. Salam, brothers, in our political environment today. You know what I mean? Just saying. Yeah. So these are the types of conversations that y'all know I love. So I'm down and ready for them. Juan, I thought you were gonna request up. I don't see you requesting up. Guys, does it not show the request box? Let me look. Okay. Let me see if it says it now. Can you see it now? Boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to. It's there for you, which. There you go. Sandy got it. Okay, great. What's up, Juan? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Danny.
Good. What's up?
Nothing much. I just came up here to speak on a certain point.
Okay.
Because I've been following you for a long time, and I know that you're doing the pro-Palestinian thing, and you're like meeting different people, who are in that movement. But my only concern was I had just got off a panel that you were actually on, and like it was a lot of anti-black rhetoric being spoofed forth. And I think when the host noticed that I was pointing certain people on the panelists that I was talking about, they immediately blocked me. And it wasn't that it was counterproductive to the message that y'all are spreading, because I'm pro-Palestinian to the death of me. But I just thought that it's important to point out that a lot of these people, they still don't understand like the movement that we as black people in the United States are still facing. So that was the only reason that I wanted to, like, I was actually trying to ask you on the panel yesterday, but I think you didn't see it. I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes comments don't always come through. But what panel was I on?
I think his name started with AB or Abjadal. It was Arabic.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So when you say people were saying things that were anti-black, can you give me an example?
Well, two of the panelists, her name was Cav, and they were saying that black people in the United States were basically more privileged, and they were comparing the struggles to black people towards the struggle for the Palestinian people. And that was the first time that I ever heard that, because I've been following you, and I follow a lot of more creators that are pro-Palestine, who are also black people and brown people. And that was the first time that I actually heard that.
Jamie, you were there? Yeah, so I haven't ever heard the comparison. No, it was Cav, Shanae. A-Money wasn't. He said it was Cav.
Yeah, that was Cav.
Yeah, and I don't know Cav. So let me just say a couple things. When I join somebody else's live or panel, right? I'm not the same way when people join my panel. If I have 5 people up here, it doesn't mean that all 5 of those people agree with each other on every single issue, right? And so if I join a panel, doesn't mean that everybody that's up there is somebody that I agree with. And I haven't heard that. I didn't hear Calf say that. But so for me, I think here's where I think the problem arises. When people want to start to compare struggles, that's a problem. So people have tried to do that with Native Americans in this country and Black people, with people in the Congolese, the people in the Sudan. Like there's this idea that there's a comparison as to who struggle. And if you care about this one struggle and you don't seem to care about a different struggle, or if this struggle is not being highlighted at the same time as this other struggle, there can be issues. But the reality is that there is no comparison in my mind. And I don't need to, let me see. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. So, there's a Native American woman that Lila June is her name. She's a poet. That's how I first became familiar with her. Okay. And for those of y'all who know me, you know that I went to Standing Rock, right? And so it was really something to be on their land, to see their way of life, to hear their thoughts, to do all of those things. And so she put up a post. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find it. She put up a post in 2020 around the George Floyd protests that were happening all around the globe, right? Give me 1 second. Lila June, George Floyd. I just want to see if I can find the thing real quick. Post that I've seen. Yes, that it would be necessary. It would have to be that. Crap. Give me a second, you guys. Be patient with me. Pretty please. Can I filter? Ooh, this I'm gonna try to filter her posts. And see if I can't get there. Give me just a second. Because she put up a post and then I commented on her post.
Do you follow Rima by any chance?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. There are several of them. I'm familiar with Rima. Give me 1 second though. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find what I can find. So she had put up this post. I'm gonna keep scrolling and I'm gonna talk while I do it. And so the post that she had put up simply said that she was watching the protests for George Floyd that were happening all around the world. And she said that she caught herself because, hey guys, let me just talk to him. Let me just talk to him. Okay. And she was saying that when she saw that Black Americans were getting global attention to what had happened, she said she caught herself for like half a minute feeling like, well, the whole world isn't paying attention to Native Americans and what we've experienced, right? And she said, and then I had to catch myself and I had to remember that number one, it's not a competition. And when one of us is liberated, when one of us is recognized, it makes room for all of us, right? And I commented when she said this, I'm still scrolling to see if I can find it, but I commented on her post and I said to her, what's funny is I felt something similar when I went to Standing Rock. And when I arrived at Standing Rock, you drive up this road, and all of the tribal flags were lining. They call it Flag Road. All of the tribal flags were lining the road, and as we're standing around there, and the elders are there, and all the things, I said to her, I commented to her post, and I said I had the same feeling for like half a second when I was standing on Native American land. And I said, I was jealous for just a minute, because when you all want to come together when you all want to stand together, when you want to listen and learn from your elders and do all of those things, and whatever, you have your land that belongs to you, that is sacredly yours. And for half a second, I was jealous because we don't have that as Black Americans. Nothing on this land belongs to us. None of this here is ours, right? And I said, and then I did exactly what you did. I had to check myself, and I had to say, yeah. And at what expense did it all get taken from them? And it's funny because there's this place where sometimes within marginalized communities and oppressed communities, that when one particular group is seen, when their travesty, when their experience is seen, and ours appears to be not, right? There's this idea that somehow there's something wrong and amiss with that. But the reality is when one travesty is seen, it opens the door for others to be seen as well, right? What I can say definitively for me is I have never personally heard the people that I talk with on a regular basis about what's happening in Gaza and Palestine. I've never heard them say anything that is quote unquote anti-Black. And I'm not even sure what that would be considered to be, right? I think that
I see that's where the disconnect is. See, you align yourself with people who are, you know, saying exactly what you're saying, but I've been on a panel with several of the panelists that you were on the other day, and they literally were talking about like they were comparing the struggles. I think it was Abjadal, or I think that's his name. You follow him? It starts with a B.
If you're talking about Abu Sarraj,
yeah, I think that's him.
Now I know Abu Sarraj doesn't even have this conversation. Matter of fact,
the moment that I brought up Rima, and the moment that I actually started talking about how like certain panelists that were on the panel.
Yeah, that's how I know. That's how I know. He that's probably why you got blocked, is because he doesn't allow that type of he thinks it's divisive, and his whole goal is to talk about what's happening in Gaza.
What I'm saying is, Danny, he still had people up there that were in that panel, and he didn't block them. So that I was the first one that he blocked, and I was just in the comments. I wasn't even on the panel. And that's why I was saying, like, I feel like we have to take a step back as Black people. And I'm not saying, like, I'm pro-Palestinian to the day that I die. Like, I am pro-Palestinian. I'm pro, life. Not pro-life. I'm pro, more relief, sorry. And I understand, and I've been trying to spread awareness the best way that I know how. And I've been following you for a long time. Mm-hmm. But I just want your honest opinion on how, as Black people, because I know people think my name is Waman Theka. I'm still Afro-Latino. I've been identifying as Black my whole life, so don't get the name confused. But I just want, as you being a biracial woman, mm-hmm. Like, how do we move? How do we navigate trying to, be pro-movement for this and still trying to fight for our civil rights?
I don't have a conflict in that. Like, for me, I don't have a conflict. Me shining a light on what's happening in Gaza and in Palestine, especially at a time where as a collective around the world, there's a lot of eyes shifting in that direction. For me, that doesn't mean that it detracts from what's happening in terms of the United States of America and what's happening for Black Americans, right? I don't have a disconnect between those two things. I can absolutely shine a light on what's happening, whether it's in Palestine, whether it is in the Sudan, the Congo, Ukraine. I can do all of that and still advocate for and still work towards the advancement of Black Americans, right? I don't think that one negates the other. And then the biggest thing for me is I do not require anybody else that I might be helping to help me. And this is a place where a lot of people don't get it. So, for example, you've been following me for a while. You know about the protests that I led against the medical monopoly back home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so back home, it is 96% white. It is 99%, 99.9% Christian, and it's probably 86%, 87% Republican where I'm from. I know that the folks back home are definitely not going to be on the same page as me when it comes to racial justice issues, right?
Okay.
They're not.
Yeah.
I know. I'm born and raised there. I'm aware. And that has nothing to do with the fact that it is still wrong for there to be a medical monopoly there that is hurting, you know, a million people in the decisions that they're making. And so this is where people have to choose this for themselves, okay? Because I can't choose it for anybody. I choose to be who I am regardless of who other people are. Period. How other people feel about whoever they feel.
Like, I've literally chosen to, like, this is the first time, well, this is not the first time, but I've just started getting on panels, and I've literally, like, been being vulnerable with people, and it's like, it's just, I'm starting to see, like, a disconnect with, I don't know if people have been infiltrated or, like, certain movements, but it's like the people that I've been following have, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it's like grifter almost. I don't know if, like, they're grifting towards a certain movement, or they're not really about what they've been about.
What do you mean? Give me an example.
Just like people that I've been following that I thought that were pro-Palestine, because I've been pro-Palestine since I got on this platform, and all of a sudden, you know, they're talking about, you know, well, this struggle means more than that struggle, and I'm just like, I think the struggle is just human beings just being free. Like, I don't think there's a comparison between anything.
Yeah, I don't. And I think that people can sometimes talk about that. And so, like, listen, I've also, so my ex is Nigerian, right? And when he and I have conversations about Black Americans versus what it is to live in Lagos or where he's from, right? He will talk about how what we think is bad isn't bad. And I have said to him exactly what I'm saying to you is you can't compare because context is everything. It's all relative, right? So the equivalent, so this is what I would say, is in the United States of America, the things that we see, like redlining or the school to prison pipeline and those types of things, those are the equivalent to, because, and it's different because, but it is the equivalent to other struggles in other ways for other people. And so the place where we go wrong is when people want to say, oh, well, what you think is hard isn't really hard. Well, it is for where I live and for my life and for what I experience. It absolutely is. Right. And so, and I think this is the thing. I know for a fact that there are, because I have now been approached by 2 or 3 different people that want to come to me about folks being or not being anti-Black, right? Which, let me just say this. Even comparing struggles, I don't know that I consider that to be anti-Black. I don't think if somebody says, oh, well, you know, Black Americans haven't had it, you know, as hard in the same way as Palestinians, I don't know that I would say that's to be anti-Black. What I would say is that there is an educational opportunity that exists there for everyone to learn, right? For everyone to learn, because what
So
Black
wait,
America,
hold on. You said what they're facing now wouldn't be considered anti-Black if they compare the struggles?
no, what I'm saying is when we compare struggles, so for example, if I were to say, when I think anti, to me, anti means against, right? Okay. And so I can observe someone and say, I don't think that their struggle has been as bad as what we've experienced. That doesn't mean I'm against them.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think the problem is you weren't on the panel, so you can't really attest to it. So like the things that I heard was just literally like white supremacist talking points.
Like you'll have to
far-right.
be specific because I'm
gonna be specific. They were
Okay.
saying things like, you know, like they were using literally the same talking points that the white supremacist far right in the USA used. They were saying, oh, black on black crime is the most crime in the USA. They were saying South Chicago. I mean, there were so many panelists that were bringing up South Chicago. They were bringing up, you know, all these cities that if you look at statistics.
In whose live were they talking about this?
That was well, one of the panelists was on the same live that you were on.
Right. No. But whose live was it when those things were being said?
What's his name?
Abu Siraj doesn't even talk about Chicago. Abu Siraj
was like 3 in the morning. Like it was like late at night.
Yeah, no. I mean, I can tell you for sure that's not on Abu Siraj's live. He only talks about Gaza and Gaza only. Abu Siraj doesn't talk about Ukraine. He doesn't talk about anything. And he gets upset if other people's lives are doing it. Right? He doesn't, he just thinks it's a distraction.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never ever heard like maybe somebody else's live, but yeah, I can't imagine that being a discussion.
I'm not gonna hold you long. It was disheartening because I've been pro-Palestine like for the past 2 years since it's been going on, and I love my Palestinian brothers and sisters. And myself, you know, I'm mixed race. I'm Afro-Latino, so I understand what's going on here in the U.S. And, you know, I feel like there needs to be more of a coalition that's being built versus, you know, like you said, comparing struggles. I just feel like if we had more attention on the coalition, we would be doing a lot better. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, but do you know what's crazy to me? And all the time that I've been on TikTok, do you know the only people that have come at me and all the things that I've talked about, the only things that were people that have come to me to attempt to be divisive in terms of unifying has been since I started focusing and sharing about Gaza. And having some of the pro-Palestine and the Palestinian people share what's happening there. And it's only been Black folk. It literally has been Black people coming to me and saying, hey, so-and-so was on your panel and that person's anti-Black. And when I say, can you share with me what it is that you mean that they're anti-Black? Number one, nobody's even been able to tell me a single thing that has been said. And the only thing they were able to say about DJK was a video that he put up after the election, which didn't have anything to do with about Blackness. It was about Kamala Harris, which there are a lot of Palestinians that feel the way they feel about Kamala Harris because of the Biden-Harris administration. And
I'm not excusing them. I'm not excusing them, Danny, but I think what happened was a lot of Arabs, white passing Arabs, they had a large percentage of them, you know, voting for Trump during this last election. So, you know, with them, you know, they're bringing attention to the Dearborn Arabs in Dearborn, Michigan. I think that played a large part. And then with Kamala coming on her book tour as her being a private citizen, I think that just wasn't good optics. Like that just made it even worse. So like Black people are just like they just on the defense. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying like, you know, they should be like that, but I just feel like, you know, Black people are just on defense. Like they don't know who to trust because.
But you know, what's there to trust? I think this is the thing that's interesting to me is I don't have to trust. I don't have what exactly is there to trust about?
Because when they went to the voting polls, I think that now again, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying when they went to the voting polls and when the statistics showed up, they weren't there. Like,
but so let me just say this. Here's what I know is that here's what I know for sure. And number one, I don't know who people did or didn't vote for. I don't know that. I know that I can tell you how a county went, right? And
I'm just
again,
speaking on the
when I think about the entirety of this country,
Mhm.
right? One particular group of individuals doesn't represent the entire country. It just doesn't. Nor does it represent an entire group of people. And I have not I've been around a lot of Palestinians in the last couple of months. I've not heard anything anti-black. Anything. And literally, the one time somebody tried to say something that something was anti-black, they were talking to somebody whose father is black. Right? So, like you brought up Rima's dad is a black Palestinian.
Mm-hmm.
So when Rima was speaking about blacks in Palestine, she was speaking about her own daddy from firsthand experience.
Yeah.
And that was her comment with regard to that. So I think
I feel like she understands because we're in the same spaces, like we're in the same panels, and we understand like what other people are saying. So I agree 100% with you, Danny. Don't ever think like I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just trying to give a perspective of why black people feel the same way, the way that they do, and I feel like it's because they feel betrayed.
By whom? Because it can't be from Palestinians. Betrayed by
from Palestinian. I'm saying it's from the large demographic that voted for Trump who are white passing, whether it's Arabs, whether it's Asians, whether it's Latinos, just white passing people in general. And just for, the news to come out where they, bombarded Kamala on her book tour, I feel like that just made it even worse.
But who?
I'm just bringing forth news from what the black community is speaking. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I align with it.
Okay, but here's what's interesting to me. So, yeah, Nance, I agree. So, what's really interesting about this conversation is, give me a second. I got y'all, Coco. I got you. I got y'all. I got you. I'm coming. Here's what I would say. I think when we say, well, the black community feels this way, there's only been a small, there's been literally less than 5 people in the black community have this perspective with me, right? That have shared or said anything, right? 5, less than 5, as a matter of fact. Next, what I would say is, when people say that they feel betrayed, I feel like this, real simple, is by whom? Because I can't, maybe it's just me. The only, I know, I got you, Rima.
I think it's not even being betrayed. I think it's the fact that, the 92 and 86% voted the way that they did.
But and they didn't change the outcome of the election.
Hold on. You still have these people still bombarding Kamala Harris, a private citizen, to talk about some, like, where is that supposed to the current administration? Like, and on top of that, a large part of y'all voted for that in Dearborn, Michigan, and that helped Trump win the election.
No, like, I mean, okay, so we have to be very, very clear. When we talk about, we have to talk about what enabled Donald Trump to win the election. And what enabled Donald Trump to win the election, number one, is 80 million people who didn't vote at all. That's number one. Okay. Like, we can start right there. And then after we talk about the 80 million people that didn't vote at all, then we can talk to 53% of white women. We can talk about that second.
I have the same smoke for all of them. I'm just saying, like, it's.
But my whole thing is that, so, but again, I think that there's a difference, and we have to talk about a couple of different things. So when we are going to talk about what helped Donald Trump get elected, number one, right? We're going to talk about 80 million people that didn't vote. Then we're going to talk about 53% of white women that voted. She did. I'm getting her. Hold on a second. Hold on. Rima's going to come. Rima's coming. I know. Rima's coming. Hold on. Then we're going to talk about 53% of white women. Okay. Then after that, we can talk about third-party voters, right? In that order, right? And I think what people need to understand is there's a distinction between Arab Americans and Palestinians.
Okay, but I understand that. I understand that completely. I understand the demographic. I understand the statistics. I just feel like, a lot of people were feeling that way because a lot of that demographic voted for that, and now they're.
But when you say a lot of that demographic voted for that, based on what? And my thing is,
based on the statistics
of what? Of one county in this entire country?
I mean, that's what made the national news.
Well, because the national news sucks and they have a fucking agenda.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that agenda, but
like that's because the national news sucks and they have an agenda. 100%. And so you have to understand. So if we just take a step back, they absolutely 100% knew. Why do you think Donald Trump went to cater to certain types of communities? Why do you think that they went to Arab Muslim communities?
I understand how politics work.
Right.
That's what I wanted to clear up, you guys. If you want me to jump in now about Michigan.
Yeah, sure.
And then I'll drop. Danny, thank you so much for having me up. Assalamu alaikum and hello, everybody. One, I was in the live when you were asking in the comments, and they wouldn't entertain having the conversation about Michigan because Abu Sarraj isn't intimately connected with that type of information, and he does not want to have that kind of political discord that went back and forth after elections. It really disrupted what was going on in Gaza, and they were fighting for their lives. So he's kind of really blacked all that out. But what I wanted to clear up is there's a misconception in the United States about what happened in Michigan. In Dearborn, they predominantly voted for Kamala Harris. In Hamtramck, Michigan, which is also the number one ran by all Muslim community, okay, they got a visit from Trump, and at the last minute, they switched their vote and tried to get constituents to switch their vote. Why? We've come to find out that the mayor of Hamtramck was promised an ambassadorship, and he's now been shipped off to Kuwait to enjoy that new job. So that's what he did, is he screwed everyone over for himself. And then we now have at least 2 of the councilmen in Hamtramck, Michigan, under indictment. They are being charged with voter fraud. They took blank ballots and filled them in for Trump. So I just wanted you to know that when I can understand the sentiment and what happened to Black people in America, I completely can have empathy for what happened with Trump coming into ruling office, right? But what happened there, that to me was very selfish about themselves. Who knows if those guys got paid off? And I just wanted to make sure you were aware, and you can look it up. You guys don't have to do Trust Me Bro, but you'll find their pictures now and the news stories and everything happening here.
So are both of those, is Dearborn and Hamtramck, are they both Wayne County?
Yeah, they're both Wayne County. And,
okay. Can I just do this? Because I love this. So for me, I just go to Wayne County, Michigan official results. Y'all, I'm literally on the website because y'all know this is how I do it, right? So the total votes for, hold on one second. Let me show y'all, because y'all know this is the way we like to get down over here. Hold on. Sorry, you guys can't see it. I'm on a different thing. Give me 1 second.
I just have a question. Why is it so quiet? No cats? No babies?
Girl, because them jokers at school. Them jokers at school.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they at school. That's all it is. So let me just turn this around. So these are, so let me scroll back up to the top. So Wayne County, Michigan official results from the election. This is straight party ticket votes. And then scroll down. So this is the VP electors and VPs, right? And what you see is she won 62% of the vote total in those counties. So whatever percentage of Arab Americans did not vote for her, she overwhelmingly won that county. This is undeniable, done. So I just want to. Okay, go ahead.
I appreciate that, Coco. I understand where you're coming from.
Danny, do you mind me jumping in whenever it's okay too?
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. Coco dipped just that quick. Thanks, Coco.
Bye, Coco. So this is a conversation that I think absolutely needs to be had. It's the elephant in the room, and it shouldn't exist, especially amongst us marginalized communities
100%.
as a whole, because the effects of what's happening now with this administration in America is affecting all of us who are marginalized and all of us who aren't quite in a certain tax bracket, right? So this is only helping a specific group of people and their groupies, right? So all of the, the MAGAs who kind of want to aspire to be like Daddy Trump and his goons, they're not realizing they're carrying out his work like his minions. But yeah, but we do need to have these conversations. And me and Juan spoke briefly, and I was explaining that, pro-Palestine definitely means pro-Black, and pro-Black is always pro-Palestine, right? So we believe in each other's, liberation movements. But I want one really important thing that I kind of need everyone to understand is, as Palestinians and as anyone from the MENA area, which is Middle East, North Africa, we don't get a box. We don't get a box. There's no box for us. And this was actually a court case that was fought in the 40s because our Caucasian counterparts wanted to claim indigeneity to the Middle East, therefore pushing further propaganda. That being said, if I go to vote right now, Juan, or if a Moroccan goes to vote, or a Sudanese person or Egyptian person goes to vote, we absolutely have to check the box that says white.
Yep.
We have to do. We don't have a box yet.
Nope.
We don't have a box. So there's no identifier and or i.e. indicator of which group is which. Does that make sense? So they have no way to say, okay, well, this percentage was Palestinian, and that percentage was Yemeni, and that percentage was Lebanese, and that percentage was Egyptian, and that percentage. They have no way. They just kind of group us together with white, and there's nothing wrong with being white.
They do Hispanics the same way.
Okay.
Yes, right. So. But now, and when it comes to Michigan, the overwhelming majority of the residents of Michigan who are Arab Americans are actually Yemeni. And most of them are like the business owners and such, right? While when you go to places like Chicago, New York, New Jersey, California, and Texas, and I think, please remind me, Danny, what did I think California was blue, if I'm not mistaken, or and Texas turned out to be red?
Yeah.
Okay, Chicago was blue. So, but where Palestinians dwell, those states turned out blue, even though Michigan, who has a lot of different mixed Arab Americans, because of what Coco just explained. So this was definitely something that was manufactured and coerced only against Palestinians. But yeah.
Okay, so again, you can understand why why a lot of African Americans or Black Americans, whatever you want to call them, FBA, you can understand why they are hesitant as to being a part of a certain movement when you just said, Rima, that you guys have to check a certain box.
But everybody does.
Why And I'm not saying it's nothing against you. I'm not saying it's nothing against that demographic. I'm just saying you can understand why certain African Americans, the black community, feels hesitant.
I'll tell you why I don't. Because they don't know what damn box they checked. They don't know.
We know what box they checked because the poll results tell it.
No, but the poll results only tell you white. They don't tell you white Palestinian.
That's what I'm saying is.
But so my point is
to scoot past it.
No, but the point.
Black Americans come to the poll was they have to choose Black American. They have to choose African American. That's what I'm talking about. Like y'all, you know, they have the option to scoot past it.
To me, none of this matters. Let me just say this: the thing that bothers me so. Okay, I hear you, but let me tell you why it doesn't.
People that feel hesitant with trusting this movement.
Then what the trust? What I trust? Here's what I don't understand. What are you trusting? What are Palestinians asking Black people to do that requires trust?
Besides me being on a lot of panels where there was a lot of anti-Black rhetoric being spoken, I'm not going to speak on that because I know all Palestinians are not a monolith, just like all Black people are not a monolith. What I don't understand is I'm around a lot of panels where Black people feel hesitant, and they have that hesitant because a lot of people vote against their self-interest. But yes, Dearborn, Michigan was an example. I mean, you guys keep bringing up statistics.
Okay, but listen, if you want to do that, Juan,
white passing Arabs.
But then let's talk about what percentage of those Arabs are Palestinian, and then we can talk about the 18% of Black men that voted for Trump.
I'm not.
But then we can talk. So, but if Black people are going to be hesitant to trust people because a minority of, but hold on, but I'm using that logic. If the logic is we're going to be hesitant to trust groups of people because an unknown small population.
It's not that we're hesitant to trust them. We've been trusting them. We voted the way that we voted, and then the same demographic people turned our backs on us. And now I'm trying to figure out, like, why is this such a shock or such a surprise to everybody? Like,
I think that that's a really simplified, not entirely accurate way to look at it. I don't think that people can say that we've been trusting Palestinians and then they turn their backs on us. I don't think that that's a fair statement to make. And here's what I would, and the reason why I say that is twofold. Number one, Palestinians did not determine the outcome of this election at all. And I would argue that the impact of whatever the Palestinian vote may or may not have been is probably less significant than the 18% of Black men that voted for Trump. I would argue that, right? I would argue that 100%. The impact on the election was more from 18% of Black men that voted for Trump than whatever percentage.
I agree. Danny.
Okay, so if that's the case, if that's the case, right? Then before Black people start talking about who else they scared to trust, maybe we need to clear up our own shit in our own house, because maybe this is the thing that bothers me about this. And it's not like when we say that Black Palestinians, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They can't turn their back on us. Like,
I think what's happening is the Black community as a whole is not trusting anybody that didn't vote in their best interest.
Well, and I think the Black,
whether that was the 18% that voted against for Trump, as far as Black men, we're just not trusting anybody, and I feel like that's relevant.
And my thing is, what are Palestinians asking you to trust them to do? They're not Palestinian. When we say we're not trusting them,
I'm not saying that we shouldn't trust them. I'm speaking from the Black community as a large, because I've been in a lot of panels, and that's what they're saying.
Well, but here's what I'm saying is, number one, I understand how the algorithm works. That would be number one, right? And the more you go into those types of the more that you go into those types of panels, then you're going to see that type of rhetoric.
I'm in these panels all day. I'm in very diverse panels.
Right, but all I'm saying is because I don't ever find those panels. They don't ever find me.
That should be addressed though, because I just got
address it how? Because here's the part that bothers me. Let me finish my statement. Hold on. Let me finish my statement, because this is the part that gets me. Is when Black people are saying, "Oh, we don't trust anybody that didn't vote for Kamala Harris." Right? Number one, I need for Black folk to go into their neighborhood and get every fucking Black person that don't vote. Start with their asses first, because there is a significant portion of the Black population that believes that voting doesn't change anything. So before we talk about Palestinians, Ukrainians, Iranians, whoever the fuck else we want to hold on, I'm going to finish. I am going to finish because this will irritate my soul. Before we talk about any other group of people, the first thing that if Black people want to be mad about whoever didn't vote for Kamala Harris, then first go into your communities and go get JoJo and Peaches and get their asses to the polls. That's the first one, right? Number two, after that, then we can go talk to the 18% of Black people that voted for Trump. That's number two. Yeah, everybody knows we got a Peaches in our neighborhood. Everybody knows. Every neighborhood I know got a Peaches.
I know Peaches. I know Tyrone.
Thank you. We all know Peaches. We all know Peaches. So listen, this is my thing. So number one, go get our community together that didn't vote at all. Then go get the 18% of Black men that voted for Trump. Go get them, right? That's two. And then when we start to use this language that says we don't trust anyone that didn't vote for Kamala Harris, because that's what we're talking about here. My point, this is my ultimate question. What are we trusting Palestinians to do? To be quite frank, it's Palestinians who should be leery about trusting the whole fucking world, because the world has done nothing but ignore them, right? This not like this stuff didn't just start 2 years ago. If anybody has the right to be hesitant to trust anybody, when we're talking specifically about Palestine and Gaza, it's Palestinians. Now, Black folk have the right to not be able to trust white folk, because that's our aggressor. That's our oppressor. Those are the people that haven't done right by us. So if Black people want to be leery of white people, please be that all day long, because guess what? I just showed y'all I was leery of Greg's ass at the beginning of this live, was I not? Absolutely. Because there is a track record. There is no track record. That I'm aware of, there is no track record of Palestinians doing anything to negatively impact the lives of Black and brown Americans. I have never seen it. You know what I'm saying? And so this is why I have a problem with this whole rhetoric. What I think is that there are people that have tapped into something that pumps the algorithm. I do not believe that it is an issue to the degree that it is. And if it is, let me just say this. If it is, shame on Black folk. And I'm going to say that with my full chest and 10 toes down. And here's why. Here is why. Our community has a lot of legitimate reasons to feel and be the way we are, right? We do. From our education systems to our financial systems to our any systems, right? We have 100%. Okay. And sometimes we find places, it's easier to take it out on Palestinians than it is because what are we going to do? We can't do shit about 53% of white women, right? Typically what happens within minority communities is we will beat each other down rather than take it to the oppressor, take it to the aggressor, take it to the folks that are actually perpetuating the problems. Like, that's just where I don't understand the rhetoric. I just don't. And I'll tell you why I feel, part of the reason why I feel the way I do about this entire conversation, Juan, is because the people that have brought this anti-Blackness Palestinian thing up, except for you, everybody else has done it in the shadiest of fucking ways. right? So when, and I listen, we just gonna call a thing today. So when Covey takes her ass and she goes to my moderators or people that she hears that she hears me call them by their name, and she goes and says the people on Danny's panel are anti-black and da. And you need to tell Danny. Well, shit, if you was that fucking concerned about Danny, you'd have told Danny to Danny's motherfucking face, but you did not. Excuse me, y'all. This is a total TikTok thing. Hold on. Right? So that would be number one. I don't trust that snaky shit. I don't trust it at all, because if I am truly concerned about you, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you and I'm going to say, hey, listen, out of respect for you and your platform, I just want to let you know, maybe you're not familiar with these folks, but here's what I've seen. Here's what I've heard. She didn't do that though. She went to John, Sam, Sally, Mae, and Jane, right? Not to me. So automatically that makes me leery of your ass. Yeah, Covey, her, Covey. That's number one. Then she took her ass to Santana. I know who Santana is, but have you ever seen me on Santana's live? Nope. Have you ever seen Santana on my live? Nope. We don't kick it. He's a black creator. I'm a black creator. We're not like that. But she sure enough, and I could show you the fucking screenshot of Santana sending me a message saying, hey, Danny, Covey came to me and told me to tell you about these two people that are on your panel because they're anti-black. Again, you just messy. You just fucking messy. Because you don't do that when you got real intent. That's messy. And where I'm from, that would get your ass whooped, right? Because you're just being messy. So then after that happened, I'm just telling y'all, see, now we just gonna call a thing. I have avoided this because it detracts from what we're trying to do. But now we just gonna call a thing. And it's gonna be, so everybody is clear about what is happening behind the scenes. So what happened is after that came to light, I hit up A Money, I hit up DJ K, and I said, this is what is happening behind the scenes, and this is what people are saying. The very next day, if you were with me, DJ K was on the live with me, and we specifically discussed this video that he put up after Kamala Harris lost, right? And he talked about the fact that he put it up, and it wasn't about being anti-black. He just didn't like her, which guess what? There were a lot of black men I talked to before the election that didn't like her either. And he immediately said this, I put it up, but it wasn't about her being black. It was about the fact that she lost the election. And as soon as someone told him that the way that they took it was that he was being anti-black, he took it down, right? So number one, that tells me if you have the video, that tells me you snatched that shit so quick, you got it before he could even take it down, before he could even right or wrong, which tells me you didn't give the man any grace, right? So that's whatever number I'm on, right? And then after all of that, just this past week, I get a message from Seven. I don't even know Seven. I've seen Seven like in my comments once or twice, but I don't even know to be quite frank, I don't even know who the fuck Covey is. I didn't even know that Covey came in my lives, right? Real talk, okay? Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, I get a message from Seven saying the same shit that Covey said, right? And I say to Seven, I already handled this. Like we already had a whole live about it. DJ K already said, this is what he feels about da-da-da-da-da. Y'all still ain't been able to tell me not one damn thing A Money said that was supposed to be anti-black. Y'all keep having her, not you, Juan, but y'all keep having her name in your mouth, but you ain't told me not near anti-black thing she said yet. Not one time has anyone been able to tell me that. But y'all busy in my damn inbox. And so this is the thing that I think is so messy, and it detracts from what's really going on. I don't have to trust Palestinians about anything. All I know is one Palestinian is being unalived every hour and one child every 8 hours. Right? That's what I need, or 1 hour every child, every 8 minutes or something, a Palestinian. Anyway, it's a crazy number. That's all I need to know. And all I need to know is we are complicit as a country because we are arming Israel. That's what I need to know. And it's not required for the people that I desire to help to turn around and want to help me. That's not required. It's not. And transactional support, transactional humanity never works. And for me, it represents one of the biggest issues why we cannot come together globally and why things are the way they are. It has to be, oh, I don't know if I can trust you to support you. It should be no question. I support you because you are being unalived. I support you because a G-side is happening against you. I support you because they have no right to oppress you. I support you because of that. And then guess what? Whatever's going on in my life, if you don't show up, that's your own karma, boo. If you don't show up, that's your karma. That's who you are. I don't need to police who you are as a human being. I can only determine who I am as a person. And here's what I will tell you is every time somebody has brought this up and I have taken it to A Money and to DJK, they have been like, all right, let's have the conversation. Rima today said, all right, let's have the conversation, right? Like, what? I have never seen them try to avoid a conversation about somebody saying that somebody is anti-Black. What I have seen is Black folk be sneaky about how they want to get the information to me. That's the thing. And that's what really bothers my soul, because for me, that's an indication of your intention. You know what I mean? Don't go whispering to 10 other people. Come tell me. And if you're going to say something to me about someone, what I really need you to do is I need you to have receipts, because I do always. And so that's all I'm going to say. It's crazy. It's crazy that this is a thing. And I just don't. And what gets me, to be real, to keep it real, I don't even know if people know what it means to be pro-Palestinian. I don't know that people, because I could take the Palestinian part off and I could just replace it with pro-humanity, because I would feel this way about Palestine. I would feel this way about the Sudan. I feel this way about the Congo. I feel this way about so many different places, right? It just so happens to be that right now, thank God, thank Allah, that right now the world is paying attention after 80 fucking years to what is happening in Palestine. Thank God. And who knows the momentum behind this, the coalition behind this might just bleed over into the Sudan and the Congo and what's happening here in the United States. Who knows? We might all benefit from the liberation of Palestine, because that's what I think. I think that's what's going to happen. And I'm not upset with you at all, Juan. It's the people that came before you with this foolishness and nonsense. So just so everybody hears me say it out loud, Kobe was sneaky as shit. And let me just tell you this. So Rima, the day that you was on my panel and she said, don't speak for Black Palestinians. And then she came up on the panel. She messaged me afterwards talking about, I think I was misunderstood. I didn't mean all. And I said, well, you said don't speak for all Black Palestinians. And you was talking to a woman whose daddy is a Black Palestinian. So I don't think we were fucking misunderstood. I don't understand how I can misunderstand you saying exactly what you said to the person that you said it to. And real talk, after that, she did offer like another a phone call over Discord or something. And then she wrote like 50 paragraphs. Anybody that knows me, my ADHD is too strong for you. If you write me 5 paragraphs, I promise you I'm not reading. I'm not built that way. Not even my friends. Ask my friends that text me. Ask Stacy and Lisa. They know you better break it up. I can't do it. My ADHD it don't work. So after I saw 2 audio messages and then like 2 or 3 other like big paragraphs. And I was like, because the real thing is this ain't even important enough for me to read all that shit. It is not important enough for me to read all of that. Absolutely not. Because number one, I know, right, I'm not reading that. And I didn't, Kelsey. And like, I'm just saying, I didn't read it, didn't respond, don't feel the need to, because I didn't misunderstand her. So.
Okay. Can I say something?
Yes.
After you, Juan, of course.
Okay. No, go ahead, Rena.
No, I want you to go. Go
No,
ahead.
I was just saying, I appreciate the insight, Danny. Like I said, I've been following you for a long time.
I know you have.
And I think the only point that I was trying to make was how maybe the Black community could be a lot of hesitant,
Mm-hmm.
but you could explain certain things very well. And I think, I'm pro-Palestine to the day that I die.
I know.
I've always been that way since I've been on this platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's very important that it's not just a black and white conversation. It's very nuanced.
Yeah.
There's a lot of complexities that go on in these conversations. So I feel like, as long as we can all come to an agreement, to an understanding that, humanity is humanity. And I feel like the main oppressor that we are trying to take out is the one that we are not really focusing on, and that's white supremacy. That's the colonization
Mm-hmm.
of all of us.
Do you know what it is,
brown
Juan?
and black people.
I'm gonna offer you this real quick. You know what it is? Is you know how when you come home from work and you mad at your boss, but you take it out on your significant other or the people that are closest to in your life or the people that didn't really do nothing, but because you can't take it out on the person that's doing it to you. That's what I think a lot of this is sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. I think so it reminds me of this conversation. I'm just saying it's because you can't take it out on the person that deserves it. So you take it out on the other people that are in it with you, the other people that are closest to you. So I'm gonna give y'all. So I know we all know who James Baldwin is. Do you know Sonia Sanchez?
Yes.
Okay, so she and James Baldwin were having this conversation. Okay. And he says, if I love you, I can't lie to you. And she says, sure you can. She said, matter of fact, you must. And he said, not if I love you. She said, especially if you love me. She said, because you go to work every day. She said, and you lie to the white man. She said, you smile in his face all day long and you do what he wants you to do.
You come back and take it out on me.
And then you come home and you take it on me. She said, why can't you smile at me? Why can't you lie to me too? Why you got to come home and tell me the truth? But Nikki Giovanni, thank you, T-Dot. Sonia was in my head. Nikki Giovanni, thank you. That's who it was. But that's what she said. No, if you don't love me enough to lie to me too. Right? And I think that this is one of the things that we have within our communities. Yeah, and W1 for understanding. Like I said, I think he really didn't have bad intentions. Number one, because this is his second time asking me. So number one, that tells me that this is something that is bothering him. Right. And so I do want to talk about it. And I do want you to feel heard. And I do want us to have understanding. Right. And I also know the difference between somebody coming with sincerity and concern and just being fucking messy. That's what I'm saying. And for me, it was the messy. And I know it's going to get back to whoever that I call the messy. I don't care. I said it. I'll say it again. 10 toes down, chest out. That shit was messy. So
I appreciate you, Danny.
I appreciate you, Juan. Rima said she wanted to say something too.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about so many things to talk about. So the whole example that you use, you being mistreated by your boss and then taking it out on those who are close to you. I want to say that the same way a lot of the Black community kind of express themselves because of their frustration and because of this, psyop propagandized information that was put out there. I kind of need everyone to understand that the same people that are lying about the files, the same people that are lying about the island, the same people that are lying about unaliving Palestinians, Congolese, Sudanese,
right,
across the board, will also lie any chance they get about anything as long as it harms those that they are oppressing.
Yep.
And they're able to benefit from it. So I need you to understand. So all of this was propaganda that was targeted against Palestinians and Palestinians alone. And because we were upset and we were frustrated on both sides. I understand both sides. I understand Blackness. I understand the oppression, the racism that Black and brown people go through every single day in this country. And I also realized that there was frustration there, and it was kind of like, well, I'm going to take this out on you, and then as a rebuttal, I'm going to take it back out on you, and I'm going to say hateful things, and then I'm going to say hateful things, and now I'm not pro-Black anymore because one person was messy, or one person said this, or one person made a video about this, or I'm not pro-Palestinian anymore, when that's not really how this works, right? And so in a deep tie and in this deep love that we have for each other, and we have this love because we understand each other and we see each other eye to eye. You remember when I first came on, Danny, I said, Danny, I see you.
Mhm.
I see you, sis. And you said, Rima, and I know you see us.
Yep.
I know you see us, Juan. I know you see us because you know what it feels like to be treated horribly for no other reason than
Then you
who
exist.
you are.
Yeah.
And that's what Palestinians have to go through, whether they're back home or abroad. And we need to understand each other's pain, take each other into each other's arms, and say, listen, I get you. How can we make this better together? What it means to be pro-Palestinian is it means to be pro-liberation across the board, across the board, across the board. This is for everybody. Human rights for everybody.
Everybody.
Fairness for everybody. Tolerance for everybody. Love for everybody. It means to be resilient. It needs
Yep.
to be loving, right? And it needs to be strong. I want you to know that through the famine that Palestinians are going through in Gaza, our resistance did two things. The first thing that they did is they sent a well-put letter to Darfur, Sudan, to their Black brothers and sisters in Sudan. And they wrote to them, I am so sorry that you are going through the flood that you were going through. We send you all of our love and all of our care. And this is right now. This was like a month ago. Over a month ago, they also made a decision because Sudan is also al-Fashir, is stage 5
Yes.
famine.
Yep.
The resistance in Gaza decided to allocate some funds so that they could eat too, and the people of Sudan refused it and said, no, please, brother, no, take it back. And they said, no, you need it just as much as we do. And you can see the women of Sudan sitting around in circles while they're starving, raising their hands to the sky and saying, Ya Allah, please feed the children of Gaza. So I want you to understand that these are our sentiments towards each other. They didn't say, oh, they're Black, so we're not. This is not the sentiment of the people of Palestine. And I do admit there are a few bad players. And I want to say
As there
last
are
thing, and then
everywhere.
I'll mute up. The far right and Groypers have infiltrated our movement online. They are trying to come up and present themselves as Palestinians and pro-Palestinians. Most of them are conservative, white nationalists. Most of them are on the right and MAGA. Just because you are America first, just because you are MAGA, just because you are anti the I state, and just because you are anti-J does not make you pro-Palestinian. And you
100%.
cannot speak for us. Thank you. I'll mute up.
Yeah. 100%. Debbie Remo. And if you follow me on Facebook, I actually shared a video. I shared a video of an American, a white Christian nationalist. He said he's a Christian nationalist in the video, and he's talking to an Israeli, and he says exactly what Rima is saying. He's saying, why should we be Israel? Why should we be Israel first? That's not America first. And it is a real thing with those folks trying to infiltrate the pro-Pally movement. And so this is what I would say to folks, right? Is it's really important for you to understand that it is not about, for me, this is the way that I look at it. The way that I look at like supporting Palestine and anything else is I don't give anything that I can't afford not to get back, and I don't give to people if I require that they give it back. You see what I'm saying? So like if I'm going to give it to somebody, whether it is love, whether it is compassion, whether it is money, whether it is my time, no matter what it is, my support, right? It cannot be transactional. There cannot be a requirement that I get it back from them, because I might be blocking my blessings, because by me giving to this particular person, by this particular situation, I might get it from somewhere else. I will get it. Let me just be clear. I will get it from somewhere else, because that energy has to be returned back to me. It has to be. And when we fall into this mindset that we can only do for people what they will do for us and vice versa, it handicaps all of us and it cuts off our blessings. It just does. Real talk. So, but no, Juan, I appreciate you because it bothered you enough to bring it up again today. So, what you mean it's hard to look at things like me? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying it does.
Okay. It's all right, Danny. I appreciate it.
I appreciate
Rima,
you.
I love you, my sister.
Oh, love you too.
I do want to say this last thing. I think it's funny because everything that's transpired in the U.S., I'm just speaking strictly on the U.S., over the last 48 hours. It's so funny that it's always been far-right people. It's always been far-right people, perpetrators. But they have this agenda that they want to blame the loony leftists, the loony radical extremist leftists.
And ain't got nothing to do with us.
Exactly. And that just blows my mind.
They all have the same profile.
The same usual suspects. I need us to start saying usual suspects for these type of people. Because they use that term for us.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, I'm just saying. No, he ain't wrong. And listen, it was funny because I didn't even, first of all, when I looked and I saw, never mind, I'm not even gonna say that. Let me just say there were indicators as to why I didn't need to go even look to see who the perpetrators were. I didn't need to. I just, already knew. So, having said that, who do I have Jen or Cam, or do I have one of my normal mods that run down and do my commercial breaks? If not, it's about to be one of y'all, because I have to go to the bathroom. Anybody radical? I know Chelsea. Just saying, Rima, I really do. Do I have Stacy, Cam, Jen, somebody, regular folk, just that are always okay. Red Hot, you about to be it today. Okay, I will be right back, folks. Hold on. Go ahead, Red Hot. Thank you.
Hi, y'all. I know I'm not usually up here, but that's who's doing it today. How y'all doing?
Hey, Red Hot.
Okay, let's do a normal mod thing since I'm not very good at talking and doing this stuff. So, continue to tap the screen for Danny, please. Also, if you haven't done your daily heartbeat at the top, please do that for her. That helps get her pushed out to the FYP. And continue so we can bring more people in for this goodness. Also, I'm not sure how she's operating the subscriptions now, so I'm going to be quiet about that. I'll let somebody else do that. But anywho, how you doing, Rima? Did I speak to you?
Yes, I'm doing okay, my love. I wanted to say that, Danny's here. I'm not sure she's away. I just want to say that she is a breath of fresh air. And I think this was kind of designed for us to have infighting and stay away from each other, because I think they understand that we are mostly aligned with each other. Does that make sense? And so all of this chaos was kind of designed so that no, stay away from those Palestinians, and then on the other side, stay away from this group, and now that we're coming together, I think this is the biggest form of resistance. And I think humanity is bringing us all together on both sides. And I just want you to know that I am eternally grateful to you, Danny, for your bravery. I love you, sis. I do have to drop to go pick up my baby too. But I love you, Juan, Red Hot, everybody here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Love you too, sis. Appreciate you, Red Hot. Thank you very, very much. All right, so let me see what I can see. What did I saw something and it sounded. What's up, Michael Anthony? Good to see you too.
Well, Danny, I don't want to hold the spot up, but I appreciate like all the insight that you've given me. You know, I try to use my platform now to just speak more so from the Black community, but I'm learning a lot. You know, I'm learning a lot, and I'm not just, you know, taking this information, this piece of information, and just not trying to put us all in a monolith.
Right.
Because again, I've always spoken on certain movements, and I've always been pro this, pro that, and I'm starting to see, like, you know, more than ever, like, we have to build a coalition. Like, it's not even about, like, you know, comparing the struggles. We have to build a coalition. If we have any chance of like fighting the fascism that is like literally coming down on us. So I appreciate your voice and the information that you spread on this platform.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. All right, so let me do this, folks. Really quick, I want to level set because I do have people that have requested to come up, and I am going to bring some folks up. Yeah, right, Coco. I don't know. I got a little warm for a minute when I was talking about the messiness, but you know, that's because I just was like, I'm tired of being, because what I was trying to do was to not be specific about certain things just to avoid it. But then it was like, okay, let's just go do it. Hey, Anas, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I am very well. So what's your age and where are you from?
I'm 25.
Okay.
And I'm Palestinian.
Okay, you're Palestinian. I bet you were joking.
About what?
Okay. About the white oppression.
Yeah.
So I don't know you. They know you, right? So, okay. So Coco, some of y'all could have told me, because let me tell you what I saw. So, because I just sat back down and what I saw was one of my people say, are you going to get up here and prove it? So because this is my thing today, I was like, okay, let's do it. Because usually when I invite them up, they don't ever come. So, okay.
I'm sorry.
No, we was about to get on it. We was about to
messing around right now.
I know. No, it's fine.
Seriously.
Okay. Shame on you. So this is my thing. So let me just tell you the truth. The thing, Chef Ryan, I don't know anything about Kobe. I couldn't tell you anything about her. I've never seen her live. Nothing. The only thing I know about her is her going to a bunch of people behind my back, trying to and telling them what they need to tell me about whatever, and then the way she came. So I couldn't tell you nothing else. And for me, that's like, yeah. And so that for me was enough. Like, real talk. Because that's exactly how it went down. And y'all know I got the screenshots to prove it, right? Because of course I do. So very quickly, there are things that I want to talk about. And I want to talk about them in a way that maybe, I'm just saying, maybe that some of you all didn't expect. So let me say this. I need to give, so at about appreciate you, Chef Ryan. At about 2:15, I don't know if Rima and anybody else is still in here, but at about 2:15 is when I want to kind of switch over. Good, Shantae is here. I know somebody can help me. All right, so at about 2:15 is when I want to. It may be sooner than that, but that is when I want to go towards the Palestine Gaza before I get there, there are some things that I've got to cover about U.S. news first. And then I want to bring up my Pally folks. Okay. So, so if somebody can communicate that in the chat and to the folks, that would be fantastic. I need about 15 minutes or so to cover. Yeah, Coco, they're not coming probably. You didn't have to unfollow her, Carla, but I do appreciate the loyalty. Nope, I don't, Sandy. My daughter gets them today. So yay, I don't have to do that. So how many of you all are aware? So there's only a couple of media outlets that I support, right? So PBS, NPR, but also The Guardian. The Guardian tends to be pretty on point, right? What's up, Amal? I'm going to bring up my folks in Gaza, Amal, in about 15, 20 minutes. Just so everybody kind of knows my timeline, because I don't have to get the girls today. Okay. So I don't know if you all, so The Guardian is one of them. And The Guardian tends to be like on the money for in your face. A lot of the stuff. So the deal that happened with Microsoft. Oh, and I love ProPublica as well. I do love ProPublica as well. But I want to get you, I want to give you this. So how many of you guys are familiar with Ty Cobb? Yeah, where's Hiba's comment? Where is it? Shit, I would if I could see it. I don't see it. Does anybody have, I don't have it, or I would pin it. Okay, so thanks, Hiba. When Hiba puts up her next thing, can somebody pin it for me? All right, so listen. So Ty Cobb was an attorney for the Trump administration, okay? And it was during the Mueller investigation in the 2016 campaign. Do you guys remember this? Yes, Trump's former attorney, 100%. And this was, so let me tell you what he went and he did an interview with CBS. Appreciate you guys. And he did it. Yeah. So he did an interview with CBS and said that he doubted that the case, that Comey would even be convicted if it ever went to trial. So things that people should know about this indictment for James Comey. Number one, they had to fire the previous prosecutor because they would not bring the charges, right? They would not succumb to the pressure and do the bidding of the Trump administration, right? So and the person who actually did the indictment she used to be, oh my gosh. Hold on. Where is her? Give me 1 second. I'm opening this up. Oh, she's telling them something for me. Yeah, she is a puppet, 100%. She is a puppet. Hold on, I'm pulling up. Y'all know me, I got 30 tabs open, okay? So the indictment number one was only signed by one. And typically, yeah, former Miss Colorado, watching ships, hoping they will arrive safely. I love that. They're coming, Mohammed. They are coming. So it's only a 2-page indictment, which I think that's the first thing that people want to pay attention to, is that it's 2 pages in length. And it is something that she was Trump's insurance attorney. Hold on, y'all. Y'all got too much information coming at me at the same time. 1 second. I need to see. 1 second. So they are doing exactly what they said they were going to do. I don't know if you all saw, but literally this morning, USA Today put, yeah, she's never, ever prosecuted a case. Ever. Because, he only hires the best of the best of the best. But so now the Trump administration Trump is saying, yes, he expects for there to be more indictments. Let me just be clear. An indictment is only the indictment is just because you have a prosecutor willing to put forth an indictment. The problem with this is that she may end up getting herself disbarred because you, as a prosecutor, before you file an indictment, you are supposed to have more than probable cause. You are supposed to believe that your case is winnable, and hers is not. All right, Hib, I got you. Hers is not. And that's why no other attorney in the office signed on to the indictment with her. Sounds good, Carla, right? And so this is one of the things that that people need to be paying attention with, right? So Lindsay Halligan is her name. That's the attorney that we were talking about. And she was a private attorney, one of Trump's personal lawyers, and she was only recently appointed to the role of U.S. attorney, and has never, ever, 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 ever prosecuted a case before. But she's the U.S. attorney. I just can't, right? Yes, I do remember that they found Comey free of any and all wrongdoing, 100%, right? So, so all of this matters because of the missteps in the case. So I can't with her even. So in the initial court filings, she had duplicate case numbers. She had misspellings in the official court documents that, guess how those were flagged? Because it's not a court of law, Jen. Those were hearings in Congress. Yes, those were hearings in Congress. It wasn't a court of law. So that's why. This is the first time. Yeah, so that's why. So it's funny because she spelled principal like principal, PLE, not principal, PAL. Right? What is it? Her name is Lindsay Halligan, Halligan. That is her name. The misspellings in the court filings were found on social media. Like, people were reading them, editing her shit on social media when the court documents were filed. So, principle with an LE, right, means a fundamental truth or a concept. So due process is a bedrock principle of American law, not a principle like the principal of your school. Like, literally, that's one of the things that she got wrong. Yeah, I was on the Flotilla Scribes live earlier today. And yeah, they should be here. They should be there soon. So, sorry. U.S. Magistrate Judge Valia described on Twitter that she was, quote unquote, trying to untangle Lindsay Halligan's first adventure in indicting someone. That's from a U.S. magistrate judge, said that on X. So just so people should know, it will not be a straightforward case to convict her, to convict Comey under 18 U.S.C. 1001 A2, because the prosecutor would have to prove that, number one, the statements were false. Number two, that he knew the statements that he made were false. And number three, that they were actually material to the Senate Judiciary Committee's inquiry. Okay. Then they have to be able to prove intent. This is always the hardest part of any prosecution, right? What's up, Salam DJK, is actually showing intent, the deliberate deception, rather than just a mistake or a faulty memory, right? That is very difficult, especially with complex testimony and senior officials. It's really crazy because the legal theory that they are using behind this indictment has actually been contested, including people that have previously spoken against Comey. So here's what I want you to understand. There are people that don't like James Comey, that have spoken out against him, who are still saying the legal theory that you used for this indictment won't hold up in court, and it's not a good argument. right? So listen to this. Fox News analyst and former federal prosecutor Andrew McCarthy said, quote, well, I don't think there's a case. He said the indictment seems, quote, premised on something that's not true, which is that Andrew McCabe said that Comey authorized him to leak to the Wall Street Journal. McCabe said that he directed the leak and he told Comey about it after the fact. So it's true that Comey never authorized it in the sense of okaying it before it happened. So I don't see how they can make that case, end quote. So literally the premise of the case is, oh, James Comey intentionally did this thing. But the problem is the person who did it already said, no, I did it. And then I told him about it afterwards. So obviously no case, right? McCarthy also noted, quote, if you were talking about the information that was provided to the FISA court, right, FISA court, that's not what this case is about though, right? It narrows only, so this case narrows only on this indictment. This indictment is only about this one disclosure, this one leak of information. That's what it revolves around. So I think it's important to note, right, you got to prove intent, which they're not going to be able to do. They can't even prove that he did it because the person who did it already said, no, I did it. And then I told him about it afterwards. Right. And so that's pretty funny. Right. So this is what's funny. Michael Cohen said on MSNBC last night that he thinks James Comey will be found guilty. And so let me tell you what he said. He said, I don't know what crime he's going to be guilty. He'll be found guilty of, right? But he said there are hundreds of thousands of documents and the government has each and every one of them. All they need is to find that one. And so Michael Cohen's position is because Donald Trump is weaponizing the DOJ, they will find some piece of paper, some document somewhere where they can find some charge to get on James Comey. That's what he's saying. And he said, well, because I know what a weaponized DOJ does. Well, the problem is, no, you actually committed a crime. Let me just be clear. He says that because he said, well, I know what it is when there's a weaponized DOJ that's going to go after you. The difference is, Michael, you were actually committing a crime, bro. Like if you don't ever commit the crime, see, this is where these folks have a hard time. And the charge does have to be specific, DJ, yes. So listen, just because somebody looks through thousands of documents doesn't mean they're going to find you committed a crime, right? Because having thousands of pages of evidence does not mean that you are going to find evidence of a crime, okay? These folks tend to have some sort of problem processing what you will find and what you won't find, right? The same way that the Trump administration believes that if you just stop testing people, then people won't have C-19. It's not the way it works. Like not having tests doesn't mean you don't have positive cases, and and having thousands of pages of documents doesn't mean that you have a crime. They just aren't the same thing, right? Well, he talked about a whole bunch of things, and he said it was about having a weaponized DOJ, right? But it's important for people to think about this whole thing and how it goes together. So I did definitely want to talk about that. There are a few more things that I need to get to. We all know that we had about 4 mass pew-pews in the last 48 hours. It appears so far that the perpetrators are the usual suspects. Okay. We are going to do a live at some point this week about the radicalization of a particular demographic in this country and how we think that is coming about and why we think that is coming about. DJ, what do you mean is what just a distraction? Right, Chris Brooks. Yeah, it was. What do you mean? is what just a distraction? Tell me what you mean. Okay, the brothers, he's going live at 10 p.m. So the Comey indictment, no, I don't think that it's a distraction. I think it's exactly what Trump said he was going to do. And the reason why it matters is that he is weaponizing the DOJ to go after the people who he perceives to be his enemies. I don't think indicting James Comey is what you would consider a distraction. I think it's very relevant. I think the fact that the president of the United States will get rid of a U.S. attorney that refuses to bend the knee and prosecute his perceived opponents, and then appoint someone who is significantly not qualified for the role, who then turns around and indicts someone who's his enemy. I don't think that that's a distraction. I think that is ridiculously important, and everyone should be paying attention. Everyone should care that the president of the United States is weaponizing the DOJ and that he is willing to get rid of anyone that is not loyal. It's not legal. That's the thing, Lorraine. It's not legal. So all of that is important. Distractions are things that just mean, you know, they're not relevant. And it's just to kind of like get you to look somewhere else. This is not a distraction. This is an abuse of power. And it's really, really important. So how many of you all know about the waterfront bar pew-pewing that took place? You all know about this one? Yep. Okay. No? All right. So we got that one, and we've got the Mormon Church. Give me a second. All right. So 3 people were unalived. And several people were injured after this pew-pewing took place. And it was at a waterfront bar. Okay. So this was in Southport, North Carolina. It happened Saturday evening outside this bar called the American Fish Company. Pretty brilliant. I don't know what you mean by when you say tourists. Who was a tourist? Who was a tourist? They said who was mostly tourists? You're talking about the people that were unalived? Is that what you mean? I don't know if we're talking about the same one, because, well, I don't think so, because Southport, North Carolina is a town of just under 4,000 people. And like they're a really small community. And this is what the chief of police said. The chief of police said, we're a small community, one of the communities where everybody knows everybody. So I don't think that this is a case of just tourists, right? It looks like 6 people were injured and 3 people have been unalived. So, yeah, so this, what I'm looking at doesn't mention anything at all about, it doesn't mention anything at all about there being tourists. Are y'all okay over there? Give me a second, just a second. So, the pew-pew of choice, this is the American Fish Company, guys. That's the name of the bar. 3 unalived, 5 wounded. It was a suppressed short barrel AR-15. That was the pew pew, right? That is the one. Okay. So yes, it was from a boat. And yeah, so he was actually caught a little while down the river, kind of getting at the boat. Okay. Just so people knows. No. All right. Give me a second, folks. Good gosh. Y'all just putting a ton of information up in here. Give me a second. Yeah, because they were all, it's, if you've seen the picture, if you've seen the place, it is very, it's like a little small place, like on the bar. So yeah, so just for the people who are saying, yes, he is a Marine veteran. They are saying that it was a targeted / quote highly premeditated attack that happened. His name is Nigel Max Edge. I don't know how many of you all had heard that name before. Did you guys so yeah, so Nigel Max Edge is a former Marine, and yeah, this is North Carolina, Southport, North Carolina, the American Fish Company. Yep, 100%. And here are the things that we know, right? So we know that he oh my gosh, stop clicking on shit. Sorry, y'all. Yeah, he's 40 years old. He's accused of opening fire from his boat into the American Fish Company, which is a riverside bar in Southport, around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, September the 27th, before fleeing the scene. He allegedly fled in his boat through the intercoastal waterway towards the town of Oak Island, where he was arrested because he was loading his boat at a public boat ramp. Okay. Let me see. He's been charged with 3 counts of first-degree unaliving, 5 counts of attempted first-degree unaliving, and is being held with no bond. It's not clear whether he has an attorney or not. He is a Marine veteran who was injured while being deployed to Iraq in 2006. And let's see what else. What they are saying is that, according to this article, he was a snipper, right? And in that role, he was hit 4 times: head, hip, ankle, and shoulder. Nope, just why don't do that. I have PTSD, and I'm not doing any mass pew-pewing. PTSD does not mean that people become violent at all. I need to be clear. PTSD does not mean that. And I want people to know that I just don't, when we talk about mental health issues with these types of things, it's just not, it's not helpful when we mention them together. So yeah. Yeah, anybody that's a Trump supporter can absolutely be in the room. Okay, 100%. Yeah, Mel, great. It's the radicalization for me. That's the problem. Because let me just be clear, folks. Folks have had PTSD for a long time. Do you think that we didn't go through WW1, WW2, the Vietnam conflict, the Great Depression? You don't think that anybody was traumatized during that time? Of course they were. People have had PTSD for a long time, before we had the terminology, before we had the treatments, before we had any of those things, right? So that has nothing to do with the increase that we've seen now. Was that for me? That paper?
No.
No? What is it?
Just a coloring sheet.
Oh, it's a coloring sheet? Okay.
Maybe that's what you said.
There's something in your folder. How was school? Good. Did you have art today?
Nope.
Dang. What'd you have?
It was yeah.
She loves all.
PE.
It was PE.
One.
Okay, PE1. Okay. All right. Oh, sis. So pretty. You're going on a field trip. Are you excited?
I made marshmallow. One of the butterflies that we were
Yeah.
raising, but we only raised it from a chrysalis. It was a chrysalis when we got it.
It was a chrysalis when you got
and
it.
It was the first one to have.
And it was the first one to hatch. So they were raising a yeah. So yeah, they have a field trip. So she was raising they raised a butterfly. It was the first one to hatch. And it was a chrysalis when they got it. So she's excited.
We named it marshmallow.
They named the butterfly Marshmallow. Okay. Hand me the box if you want me to give you what's in there for you. Yeah, so super cool. Oh, you forgot about the box. I know. Yeah, chrysalis. And then the butterfly's name is Marshmallow. We love that. Is that funny to you? Okay. All right. So you are cracking me up, kiddo. Y'all hear that cough still? I know. It is here, my dear. Look at all your colors. You have purple, you have blue, you have green. Look, you have Post-its. We're going to put yours right up there under Tutu's.
Oh, is this the?
Oh, you didn't know what it was?
Yeah.
She's looking at me like, what the heck is that, Tutu? So, so y'all know this is my girl that was born at 1 pound 3 ounces at birth, and so she's somewhere on that beautiful spectrum, and so what helps her is like Tutu, because Tutu is absolutely ADHD. Is being able to yes, now she's excited because she realized what it was. So lists help her. List helps her, and so it does me too. So I have a white dry erase board that's up in front of me that I can see where I put through everything that I want to get done or that I need to get done for the day. And so well, hold on, they want to see it. And so is that funny?
Yeah, I want to see it too.
She said, yeah, I want to see it too.
Yeah.
And so I got her one for us to hang. Are you excited?
What is going on?
What? All the hearts?
No. Why did this?
Oh, why? Because if you put it too close to the camera because of the background. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to say hi? She said he. Okay. So yeah, Cam, I have one too. Okay. So listen. I'll put these stickies off of it in a second. And we'll put it on the wall when I get done. But you can still go ahead and use it. If you need to make your list of what you need to get done today, then you can do it before bed, okay? Like you can go ahead and make your list if you want to. Okay. Oh, her jacket. They love your jacket. So she's lanky, Shanae. She's lanky is what she is. Where's her jacket from? I'll have to find the link, Cam, and throw it in there. I ordered it from Amazon for her. So yeah, so Bella, give me your shoe. Hold on. So now you have to see if you love her jacket, then you have to see the new. So she has. Give me the other one too. Not give me that one, and then give me your other ones that I got.
Okay.
Not that one. The other ones that are in the thing.
No.
No, I need that one too.
What do you mean?
Those shoes and your other shoes, your slip-ons.
Okay.
Yeah, both of them. So I took her when I took her to the doctor last week for her checkup. She wears that jacket every day. She loves rainbows, right? And so these were her shoes that I got her at the beginning of the year, right? Because, rainbows and all the things. Yes, Sandy, she has done better with them. Okay. So which these are like great because they're all colorful and whatever, right? But then these are her new ones. And she is about this life right here. She is about this life. And so when I took her to the doctor the other day, come here, Bella, so we can see I want them to see your glasses real quick. So this lady saw us in the doctor's office, and they saw her shoes. And now come over here with the jacket. Come right here so they can see you with the jacket. So the rainbow jacket with the unicorns, see that? And so and then her glasses are like this hot pink and orange. Here, baby, take those. And so this woman goes, "Oh my gosh, I love your jacket." And then she goes, "Oh my gosh, and your glasses and your shoes. You are just a vibe. You are just a vibe." And so it doesn't really matter what else I put on her. The jacket and the shoes and the glasses are every day. You know what I mean? So that's her life. Yeah, so it's not the cough is she was born weighing 1 pound 3 ounces. She has chronic pulmonary disease. So that's what the cough is. Okay. But anyway, yeah, she is a vibe. Yep. Hard to believe she was the size of my hand when she was born, but she was. What's up? Okay. You gonna put the other one up? Yeah.
The one that I just knocked on the floor?
Yeah, girl, the one that you just knocked on the floor. You're so silly. Yeah, she has it because she was born 1 pound 3 ounces, right? Yep, Roland. What's up, Ro? All right, so let me run through these real quick before I bring up some more folks, okay? I'm not going to touch on every single one of them that happened, but I do need to give you all just some highlights for what's happening today. And this is a pretty great transition into bringing up some of our other folks, okay? So let me just say this. A couple of things are happening today. As you all know right now, Bibi Netanyahu is at the White House, right? I think he should be being arrested because there's an arrest warrant out for him, right? As an international war criminal. But he's there. So let me tell you the things that are happening as he's there. So I'm going to give you, this literally just came out in the last 20 minutes. You ready? So here's what he says. So there is a readout confirming the trilateral call. So there was a call while Benjamin Netanyahu is at the White House. They placed a call together to Qatar. Okay. And here's what it is. You ready? Whoops, hold on. You good, sis? Okay. Do you need a drink? So apparently during the call that took place, Benjamin Netanyahu apologized to the Qatari prime minister over the Doha strike while at the White House this morning. He says that he apologized for, quote, violating Qatar's sovereignty and carrying out the strike and expressed regret for unaliving a citizen. I'm trying to look. Let's see. According to Axios that first did the reporting, the apology call was a key Qatari condition for resuming its mediation with Hamas over a deal to end the war in Gaza and, quote unquote, free the remaining hostages. Let me see. Hold on one second. So let me just say this. A Qatari technical team is also at the White House, you guys. Just so you know, while he is there, while Benjamin Netanyahu is there, so is the a Qatari delegation, right? A delegation of Qatari officials are also there. Let me go back over here. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing folks up. And give me a second. So I'm going to give you the readout that was actually given today. Here's the readout. You ready? This is from the White House. Quote, today, President Donald J. Trump hosted a trilateral phone call with His Excellency Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel and His Excellency Prime Minister Mohammed bin I can't say his whole last name. Abdul Rahman, Abdul Rahman. There you go. I don't know what my brain was seeing. Ben Hassim Al Thani of Qatar. The president expressed his desire. Girl, I had to slow my eyes down. The president expressed his desire to put Israeli-Qatar relationships on a positive track after years of mutual grievances and miscommunications. Shut up, bangs. Shut up, bangs. Shut up, bangs. Rahman. Okay. The leaders accepted the president's proposal to establish a trilateral mechanism to enhance coordination, improve communication, resolve mutual grievances, and strengthen collective efforts to prevent threats. They underscore their shared commitment to working together constructively and clearing away misperceptions while building on the longstanding ties both have with the United States. As a first step, Prime Minister Netanyahu expressed his deep regret that Israeli strikes against Hamas targets in Qatar unintentionally unalived a Qatari serviceman. He further expressed regret that in targeting Hamas leadership during hostage negotiations, Israel violated Qatari sovereignty and affirmed that Israel will not conduct such an attack again in the future. The Qatari Prime Minister welcomed these assurances, emphasizing Qatar's readiness to continue contributing meaningfully to regional security and stability. Prime Minister Netanyahu expressed commitment to the same. The leaders discussed a proposal for ending the war in Gaza, prospects for a more secure Middle East, and the need for greater understanding between their countries. President Trump praised both leaders for their willingness to take steps, blah, 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 blah. They are over an hour behind schedule. So let me give you what their plan is. It came out 6 minutes ago. To end the Gaza conflict is what it says. You got me a map today. I love that, Amal. Hey, Sissy, will you get Tutu some water, please?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bear. Okay, so this is the lengthy plan. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Bullet point number 1. If both sides agree to the proposal, the war will end immediately with all military operations, including aerial and artillery bombardment, to be suspended. 2, Israel will not annex or occupy Gaza. 3, no one will be forced to leave Gaza. Those who wish to leave will be free to do so and free to return. I just need y'all to hear me. I'm reading I'm just reading what they put out, okay? What up, A Mooney? A Mooney? Girl, I know your ears been on fucking fire. I know your ears are on fire. Okay, let me finish. Let me read all the bullet points. I'm going to read this verbatim. This came out 7 minutes ago. You ready? Listen. Guys, don't ask me questions. Let me read the whole damn document yet. Let me read the whole document. Okay? I'm going to read the whole thing. The White House has just sent out a lengthy plan to, quote, end the Gaza conflict, end quote. Among the key points are, if both sides agree to the proposal, the war will immediately end with all military operations, including aerial and artillery bombardment, to be suspended. Israel will not annex or occupy Gaza. No one will be forced to leave Gaza, and those who wish to leave will be free to do so and free to return. Next, a Trump economic development plan, quote, to rebuild and re-energize Gaza will be created, end quote. Within 72 hours of Israel accepting the proposal, all remaining hostages, alive and unalived, will be returned. The U.S. will establish a dialogue between Israel and Palestinians to, quote, agree on a political horizon for peaceful and prosperous coexistence. End quote. The U.S. will work with Arab and international partners to, quote, develop a temporary international stabilization force to immediately deploy in Gaza, end quote. Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence and decommission their weapons will be given amnesty. I can tell you part right now, that part they're not going to agree to. They're going to be like, the fuck, you want what? You want me to do? You want me to give away my weapons? Not happening. I'm going next. Once all hostages are released, Israel will release 250 life sentence prisoners plus 1,700 Gazans detained after October 7th, 2023. Entry of and distribution of aid to proceed without interference from two parties through the UN. And then the last point listed here is Hamas and other factions to agree to not have any role in governance of Gaza, whether direct or indirect in any form. So those are the key points that have come out of there. Just 3 minutes ago, Donald Trump said, quote, "We're at a minimum very, very close, and I think we're beyond very close," Trump says, about reaching a ceasefire deal in Gaza. And then a minute later, he says to Netanyahu, "Thanks for agreeing to the plan." If accepted, I'm literally reading this as it comes through. If accepted by Hamas, the deal calls for the release of all remaining hostages within 72 hours, Trump confirms. So this is kind of where we are. Is DJ K's ass still in here? Where is DJ K? Where is A Mooney? A Curious Mind, did you mean to request up?
I'm here.
I am reading this from The Guardian. They are doing a minute-by-minute update because the press pool is there. Yeah, Rebecca, they just talked about those. They just talked about the Palestinian hostages. Give me a second. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, you're welcome. Bizzle, will the files be released after that? Fuck no. What? No. Listen, do you know how determined they are to make sure that those files don't get released? They won't even confirm a duly elected official. What do you mean? Just so we're clear. W Watchmaster for gifting Amal. So for those of y'all who do not know, Amal is, I know her name says Sophia, but that's the little girl. That's her daughter. Amal is in Gaza and has two beautiful little girls. So feel free to gift and help and all of that. I also need to say this to you all. I talked to Abu Sarraj earlier today, because here's what I find has always been helpful. Okay. What I have found that has always been helpful is when I can articulate to you all what is needed, why it's needed, how much is needed, what happens with that. Is he live with this? I don't know. I don't watch him live. I will literally throw up in my mouth. I can't. I would rather read what is being said. I can't listen to him. I can't. I just, unless y'all want to see me like, I can't. I just have to.
I want to see. Just kidding.
Yeah, so yeah, somebody else said he is, but no, I can't do it. Okay, so can I give you guys some information for those of you all that have been helping or didn't help and want to help or whatever. And I'm going to tell you what Abu Sarraj told me today. Okay, he said that just in the last couple of weeks, there has been the prices have lowered some in Gaza for supplies that they need. Because let me tell you the question. Y'all know I love a bit of transparency, right? So let me tell you what my question to him was. I said, Salam Abu Sarraj, I said, can you tell me how much someone would be able to purchase, like in terms of food, like for example, with $100 donation, right? I'm trying to give people an idea of what that would look like. Because what I know is that when people know, oh, if I give this amount, people will be able to get this. Does that make sense? And he was like, sure. So he gave me an outline. And so let me tell you this. So if they purchase online, things are more expensive. However, if they change from online money to cash, then they lose about 35% of their money in a transfer fee. So buying online is the best option. Okay. Everybody listening to me so far? So, yes, baby.
This sponge pop came out.
You want me to fix it?
This pop came out. Yeah, the sponge came out.
Oh, that's okay. It's because they can be replaced.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Do you know what that sponge part is?
The whistle.
Yeah. Okay. Salam, everybody. Right. Online is better. So I'm going to give you some prices so that everybody knows. Good question. Hold on, VJ. I'm going to get all those questions answered so that everybody knows. Okay. And so this is why I wanted to do all my Gaza Palestinian stuff towards the end. Okay. So everybody knows. Yep. Hold on, Linda. We're going to get to the deliveries and stuff in just a second. This part, I just want everybody to listen to. Okay. So when we talk about like a kilo of rice, that's about a little over 2 pounds. It's like 2.2 pounds of rice. Okay. Hey, sissy, what you got? You making your list?
Yeah, I finished it.
Oh, I love it. Look, she's making her list, y'all.
I'm done.
She's got wake up, get dressed, do hair, brush
And she
teeth.
checked it twice.
Look, brush teeth, use the toilet, get shoes, get glasses, put on backpack. After school, take off backpack, take off shoes, take off jacket, take off glasses. Girl, you forgot. Put it where they go. I know you always do, but I'm just saying, right? You have a snack on there, and then you got to do like nighttime. Brush teeth, read your book, all that stuff. You're not quite done. Okay, let me finish.
I did. Oh wait, I did.
Oh, these are my grandbabies, beautiful. These are my grandbabies. Mimi. Okay, girl, go ahead and use the bathroom. She yelled from all the way back there. I just used the bathroom. Okay, so I want to tell you. So this is what I was going to tell you. Right, wake up and get up are definitely two different steps. Yes, Elaine, they are, especially for this girl. Okay, but so listen. So, because I asked, I had to go look it up. So when we're talking about like a kilo of rice, you're thinking about 2.2 grams. Yep. And the larger bags are the 2.2 kilos is 5 pounds, right? Just so y'all know. So think about it like this, like 1 kilo of rice. And listen, these prices just dropped in the last couple of weeks. So why I'm telling you right now is if we know them the way that they've been doing things, is they will raise the prices whenever they want to punish them or whatever, right? In the last few days, Amal. Okay, so listen. But yeah, go ahead, Watchmaster. Appreciate you. So listen. If you want to support, if you want to help, and you want to, and if you want I don't know, the best bang for your buck, if you will, for your money to go the farthest. Now's a good time while things are low. If you don't have it, don't sweat it. Let me say this, because, okay, because I know that many of you all gave every bit that you can to get people from the north to the south, to make tents happen, to make plots of land happen. So don't feel any pressure at all. This is me letting you know what happens, okay? So, all right, so listen, 1 kilo of rice is $5. What I thought I took a screenshot. Hold on, let me see if I did. Hold on, y'all.
While she's doing that, just remember, y'all, the prices were way higher than this
Yes.
months ago, and they have become a little lower.
Look, it cut it off. Okay, but listen. So
Small cheese is $2.
yep, a small cheese is $2. So listen, so the reason why I want to tell you all this is because, and this is what I told Abu Saraj, is that because things have dropped, now's a good time to help if you're going to help, right? So remember, everybody's links, including Amal, Sophia, her links, along with Mohammed's links and Bilal's links, They're all in, and Raja's links, they're all in my link tree. Okay. A Money, I don't know this person. Do you know him? Hey, come here, little girl, for a second.
I met him this week. He's staying in a school shelter. He is 18 years old. He does speak English, by the way.
Okay, I got you. Come this way, love.
What was I gonna say?
Abu Saraja's link is in her bio, and he's on my page too. Come here for a second.
Mine
So,
is easy to
what,
get to.
you wanna
because
say
yours is
hi?
like a maze. Hi, baby. Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
say hi, A Money.
Hi.
You're so silly. Yeah, today.
She's adorable. I didn't see that one before. I know we met Mila.
That's Mila.
No, the other one there. What's the other one?
Bella.
Bella. We've seen Bella a lot. Oh my God, Mila is so cute, mashallah.
Mila is the one that most people used to see because she just started pre-K. So before she started pre-K, everybody saw her all the time. But no, so if y'all don't know anything about K-pop Demon Hunters, so for the last 4 to 5 weeks, 1 week she wants me to do her hair as Rumi, right? And then for like a week or two, it was like Zoe. So I had to have the little buns back here. And then today, right, Amy. And then today she was like, I want my hair like Mira's. So that's the little tendrils down here, the 2 little puffs right here, and then the rest of it down. I said, okay, girl, but yours is going to be curly Mira because you have curls. You have curls, my love. But yeah, so that's the, oh my gosh, don't say, you're my soda pop. You're my, yeah, we know. All right, so yeah, she's.
Just a reminder for y'all that winter's coming.
What,
Winter
love?
is here, and we had a rough winter last year. Salam Muhammad.
Yes.
Shway, shway. Salam Muhammad.
So this is Mohammed. He's 18 years old. He is staying in a school shelter, is my understanding. What?
Mohammed.
What did I say?
You said Mohammed?
Girl, because I got 3 of them in my inbox.
Danny, we all can't be Mohammeds.
Not you. This gesture is for A Money, not you.
We all can't be Mohammeds.
That's for A Money. Okay.
This one is Mohamed, though.
Mohammed. Oh, I see it now. It's cut off. All I can see is MOH. Shut up, girl.
Scratch again. You have a little itch right there.
Yeah, right here. That's for you, A Money. All day. Yes. Yes, I can do that for you. So you be careful when you put it up. When you put it up, put it underneath my whiteboard. Okay, so listen, I want to keep telling you all this because last year they did have a hard, I would put it a little bit over so it's not right underneath the thing. I don't care. Put it where you want. I don't care. Okay, so let me help you, sis. Now, if you wanted to, you could put it on the refrigerator. But do you want to put it under mine? Yeah. Okay, I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so listen, let me finish telling you all. So 1 kilo of rice, which is like 2 pounds, is $5. 1 kilo of sugar, $5. Cooking oil is $7. A pack of bread is $10. 1 small cheese is like $2. Coffee, just 250 grams of coffee is $15. Tomato paste is $5 to $10. Now get this. The problem is when you get to vegetables and when you get to meat. Okay. So the vegetables are if you're looking at a kilo can be anywhere from $30 to $40 for vegetables, which is absolutely horrendous. Yeah, I know, Helena. I already read the things on the deal. I'm not listening to him. I already read the terms of the deal. Sorry, y'all, I'm getting my baby stuff ready. Okay.
I think you are living with
He said, I'm living with who? You cut out. What'd you say?
Yeah, you know the real prices.
Yeah, I got them from Abu Saraj.
Like you are living with us, you know the real prices.
But she be on
Yeah.
it. She be on it. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. And so now listen,
Yeah.
that's the 1 kilo for fruits and vegetables. And then the meat is where it gets really expensive, guys. So just you're talking about like 2 pounds of meat can be up to like $150, $160. So just so everybody knows. So this is my thing. So yeah, I'm just reading. Let me read all these little notes that he gave me. So, and this is something that Abu Sarraj said, is they allowed merchants to bring in the goods to encourage people to be willing to come from the north to the south. However, don't know how long things are going to be low like this. And so if you have any to give, here, baby, Belle, here, put it up there and I'll see if I need the other two or not. Watch it. Don't wipe your fingers. Don't wipe it off. There you go. Yeah. So, and these are the lower prices for right now, folks, just so you all know, they were much higher than this. Yeah, Beach Bum, you're saying he has a lazy eye right on the right side this time. Listen, that Joker, his mouth was drooping the other day. I just think they just be pasting that Joker together. Somebody in the back they're just pasting it together every time he goes in front of a camera. But anyway, so yes, baby. Oh, love it. All right. Okay, so shut up, Melinda. Don't laugh at me. So real talk. If you have, so for example, this is the way my brain works. What I would be thinking about is, we know meat is the most expensive. So if you don't have a lot, it's just, don't even think about that. So think about, what does a meal look like? So for me, I would be thinking, if I know I can do veggies, a little bit of veggies for $30, and then I can do, cooking oil, rice, sugar, bread, cheese, and tomato paste. That might be, I might be able to do like $50-$60. And I know I'm going to get something taken, even if it's not meat. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, Mimi. I know they do. I love this. Calamantina, which is A Money's group, will be doing food packages soon. That's exactly what I said to Abu Sarraj that I said. We need to do like little bundles so that when people can say, ooh, I know I'm going to spend this amount of money and it's going to get them this.
That's what we want to do.
It went to the side.
I said the same thing.
Collaboration with Danny,
So just saying, because I want everybody to be able to understand. So Amal, you wanted to tell people some other stuff?
Yes, principles been so long for me not joining your live, so glad to see you, sister, and to see your beautiful family. Before me talking about this map, I wanted to tell you a little thing about the prices that's in here. The vegetables are from $10 to $20, but the thing is that for a decent meal, you have to buy at least 2 types of vegetables with some basic needs, and there is at least like the family needs 1 meal per day, and they do need some stuff, so it's it counts. Every day I try to the market, try to buy the least things that I can buy just to pass by the day, and I find a big bill waiting for us to pay, so this is like, of course, not the prices we used to buy, everything is multiple, but alhamdulillah, anyways, it's better than what we had to deal with a few months ago.
Right.
So appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and absolutely, the bundle thing is cool. I've been doing bundle things, but for families. Like you saw that the picture I showed you a few weeks ago for the family. I sent them food. Yeah, it was around $300, but the people knew what we were getting for this amount. So it is good to keep people updated. I think you can make a page about someone who can update daily prices and things. You can update this if you want to reach out people. Now to talk about this, and I know this is going to be twisting the topics, but this is the latest map that they posted that talks about the IDF, where they will be focusing their forces and their military. So the blue line, if you see, this is the area that now the IDF is in. So they already control all the areas behind that dark blue line. So they control the yellow, the red, and the hatched one. We are literally located in this town on the sea. So this is them now. If they agreed, if they said this is like a first agree on the proposal, the forces will be sitting by the yellow line. And if they start releasing the hostages, then they will be by the red line. And by the red line, that's the second withdrawal. And the forces, they have been talking about forces that's gonna come and help ruling Gaza. and taking control on the security in Gaza. So if they start to take on control, the IDF will withdraw to the red line, and the third withdrawal, which is the hatch line, this is going to be the final time, and they will keep this as a safe zone for them, for the Israelis. Now this is good, but if you hear the rules, as you just said, they started now clarifying the things that they are talking about, and they literally say we have to break the HE group and the resistance and take their weapons and just vanish them from the strip, which I think that we're gonna struggle with this.
No, there's a whole box.
So I don't think this is happening soon, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll do a cup. Yeah. Okay. So I do want to talk about this and just as well. So thank you for this map. I need to hold on. I just screenshotted it. Okay. So I want to talk before we go because I want the map because I want to talk about it. And for those of y'all who do not know, A Money, DJK, and some other folks, they have an organization called Calamantina. You see the on the back. Okay. And DJK, I have it all pulled up in bullet point. I can't watch him talk.
Oh my God! Well, I swear to God, it's like I'm literally losing my shit right now.
I can't watch him talk, but I have all the bullet points in front of me. And we went through them already. Yeah, I will throw up in my mouth. I can't do it. Because I can't. But anyway, Calamantina is going to be doing some food boxes, some food like bundles, right? But I want you all to be thinking. So the things that we know are there's staples and then whatever. So the way that I would be thinking about it is the rice, the flour, the oil, the bread, the cheese, the vegetables. And then are you looking for a charger?
Yes.
There's chargers right down there. It's plugged up. It should be onto this cord. Move my suitcase.
I didn't see anything.
Well, shit, who took it out?
I don't know.
Look and in here, and there are some in here too, but look in here. Y'all, I was traveling, so I haven't unpacked yet because I didn't feel like it yesterday. So those are the biggest things so far. See if Dominic took it in there because my big one should be there. It has two different colored cords on it for charging. Oh, I forgot she was cooking it. I smelled something. So there are other things that are needed, you guys, right? So blankets are needed, clothes are needed, cleaning products are needed. All of that is needed. And here's what I'm going to tell you: it is going to be needed for the whole winter, right? So if you have and you can support, then support. If you don't have because you just helped support a week ago, 10 days ago, please, you guys, like measure yourself out. Don't how can I say this? Don't apply so much pressure to yourself. Because I'll keep it 100% honest today. I had to send a message today and say I will see what I'm able to do. But like, just I don't want people to misunderstand that because we were able to fundraise the way that we were able to do moving to the South. There were several people that I know made sacrifices to make those things happen. But none of us that I'm aware of are like holding the bag like that. So I just want you all to know, do what you can and don't let yourself be whatever. You hear what I'm saying, folks? So just
Danny, can you also say?
Don't spread yourself thin, and if you can, you can. If you can't, just share it out. That's or being there. Being there is a big part of it.
I would say also go to the page, and if you like and share the post, that in itself helps as well, guys. It's free, so.
Can I share something?
yeah.
Can I show you?
If we can just finish talking.
Can I show you what I found
Sophia?
on the market?
It's related, I believe.
What I got before 2 days.
Okay.
Not everyone talking on delay.
Yeah, all three of them talking on delay, and I'm just like,
Danny, I'll be back. I'm gonna take this phone call real quick. I'll be back.
okay, DJK.
Yeah, listen out, guys.
Did you see me, A-Money? I was like,
I can't even see money on the planet, but
because this she's on the big screen. So that's yeah. So that picture, that Calamantina picture, that's A Money on the big screen.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to tell you this. Sometimes, like, I rarely get 8 boxes. Like, the zero luck girl always. So we don't get 8 boxes for some reason. I don't know why. But whenever I get them, there are many things that my family don't eat, like white beans. And I get a huge amount of spaghetti and pasta that we don't even cook. So it ends up with me sending to the people around me more than the half of this 8 box. So the best idea I think that's helping families is that, like, you have some person or two people who make an agreement with a specific market or mall with a specific stuff like list, and then you get some amount, specific amount for each family, like coupons, okay? And then they can get whatever they want from the things inside the list in the amounts they actually use. In this way, like, you can make sure that you can supervise them buying from the place. Like, you're gonna have 3 or 4 people supervising, and then people are gonna buy with the amount that's in the coupon, whatever they need. And I think this is effective. If I was asked if I will prefer coupon or an 8 box, I will go with the coupon thing. But maybe this is different for some ends people.
Yeah, A Money. I don't know. This was my question. I was like, what could they possibly get for, like, that's what I just asked for the prices.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we were looking into as well, Danny. The prices and how much each
Yeah.
can get as a family and stuff like that. So I agree.
100%. Okay, Mahana, you wanted to show them something?
I wanted to show you what I found before days a donator.
Oh, not the internet freezing. He's breaking up. Not y'all talking about pretty hair. I can't.
I mean, he managed to keep his curls on his G side.
Listen, just saying. But you know what I told him? I told folks the other day. I said, I don't think what people. Salam Raja. I said I don't know that people think. So I think part of the grooming is that's a form of protest. You're not going to take my dignity. So, hey Raja, how are you? He is straight as frozen. Maybe he'll drop and come back. Yeah, he's glitching, so he'll probably come back. Salam Raja.
Sophia, I'm Moine.
Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, keep
Are you trying to look? Yeah, I'm just watching. Okay, it's over here and over here. You can pull right here for TikTok. You just have to. This they mama. I don't know that they've ever seen it. I know. Look, these are the kids' mom. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey girl.
Okay, so I think he was trying to. Yeah, she does sound better, doesn't she? She does sound better. He probably took a picture so he can show the picture instead of trying to use the camera. A Money, can you ask Raja if he was able to get the tent and his land and all the things and whatever? Oh, thanks, Mom.
If I remember correctly, Raja was the one that had the land and the tent. It just needed to be maintenance.
Yep, he needed that, and then I know he needed just like food and what have you. Because he had a tent, he just needed it to be maintenance. And then Bilal is the one who said he was trying to build a tent, so hopefully he was able to get one. Now he says the talk of the street now is about the Trump plan. Yeah, so let me just go over because I have all of that again, right? That's little Mohammed. No, Jamie, that is not. That is Mohammed. That is not Mohanad. They don't even look alike, Jamie. I mean, they cute, but no. One got real curly hair. The other one doesn't have really curly hair. Like, okay, so let me give you kind of the plans again. Okay, you guys ready? So these are the bullet points from the. She said, "I know." Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so these are the bullet points from the proposed plan. Okay, it says if both sides agree to the proposal, the war will end immediately, and with all military operations, including aerial and artillery bombardment, to be suspended. Now, can I just analyze these one at a time real quick? So when I hear suspended, that's not an end. When I hear suspended, that is not an end. You follow me? Like, I pay attention to wording. But anyway, then it says Israel will not, I'm just saying, Israel will not annex or occupy Gaza. And then it says no one will be forced to leave Gaza, and those who wish to leave will be free to do so and free to return. I just want to say, like, under what conditions? Anyway, and then it says a Trump economic development plan to, quote, rebuild and re-energize Gaza will be created, end quote. Well, here's my thing. If you didn't fuck nothing up, we wouldn't have to rebuild nothing. But next, within 72 hours of Israel accepting the proposal, all remaining hostages, alive and unalived, will be returned. The U.S. will establish a dialogue between Israel and Palestinians to, quote, agree on a political horizon for peaceful and prosperous coexistence, end quote. The U.S. will work with Arab and international partners to, quote, develop a temporary international stabilization force to immediately deploy in Gaza, end quote. So in other words, can I just, instead of Israel occupying Gaza, it'll be a coalition occupying Palestine? Is that what the fuck we're saying now? Sorry, this is just, and I don't mean to be negative at all. I just, whatever. And then it says Hamas members, you know, I need cheese.
I know.
Oh,
we get it for you.
Thank you. And then I don't know. But then it says Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence and decommissioning their weapons, which A-Money, I said they not going to do, will be given amnesty. Once all hostages are released, Israel will release 250 life sentence prisoners plus 1,700 Gazans detained after October 7th. So everybody's reporting that Benjamin Netanyahu has agreed to the deal. In my opinion, it's not going to matter. It doesn't work, right? Yeah, I got you. Hold on one second. Hamas and other factions have to also agree to not have any role in the governance of Gaza, whether direct or indirect in any form. Now, here's the other thing. Listen to this. It says, under the plan, the Arab and Muslim countries will commit to demilitarize Gaza and decommission the military capabilities of Hamas and all other T organizations, they say. Well, if we're going to talk about that, then we should be demilitarizing Israel because they are a T organization as well, correct? Anyway, and then listen to this. That whole coalition that they're talking about, let me just tell you the rest. It says all parties will agree to a timeline for Israel, for Israeli forces to withdraw in phases from Gaza. Israel would have, quote unquote, the right and the full U.S. backing to, quote unquote, finish the job of destroying the threat of Hamas, end quote, if the group rejects the deal. Those are Trump's words, right? And then he says, Trump says that his plan calls for a quote unquote board of peace, which is supposed to be some international body headed by himself and leaders from other countries. He says that the former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair will also be on it. I don't believe. It says that Hamas and other factions will play no role on the board and no role in the future of Gaza, which I'm just going to tell you, no, they're not going to say yes. Like literally this idea that somehow the West is going to dictate what the fuck happens for Palestine is ridiculous. It's not going to happen. And to be quite frank, if I were Palestinian right now, I would be like, really? You think you all are going to take, yeah, they want to take Gaza. That's all it is. They want to take Gaza. And they like, we're just fine if you leave the British out of this, because the British is how the fuck we got here to start with. So, and then he doubled down saying that there were the countries who recognized Palestine as a state were foolish. He then said that Benjamin Netanyahu remains, quote unquote, very clear about his opposition to a Palestinian state. Trump muses that he expects Iran will become a member of the Abraham Accords one day. And then he goes on a tangent about how to pronounce Abraham to Joe Biden. Whatever. This dude is not okay. He says that it's that Netanyahu understands that it's time.
Now, what I heard.
The delay is real. Go ahead. W dinosaur, Eli.
Okay. When I heard now that Benjamin just said that they want to cast fire or to end the war on Gaza, and that's something just makes me optimistic. Like I'm now optimistic that there is something. I have like hope right now that it will be in like today or so soon. I just want to return back to my normal life, just as soon as possible. But I don't know when.
Right. Benjamin Netanyahu is speaking right now, guys. He said, quote, "I support your plan to end the war in Gaza." And then he says, which achieves our war aims. And then he says, then Netanyahu says, quote, "This can be done the easy way or the hard way," end quote. And then he says, quote, "If Hamas rejects your plan, Mr. President, or if they supposedly accept and then basically do everything to counter it, then Israel will finish the job by itself," end quote. Yeah, fuck this dude. So can I tell you all what I hear? I hear blah, 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 blah. This is all just a circus. This is just a press, whatever. And we're asking for things we know that won't happen so that we have an excuse to do whatever we want to do. That's what I hear. Israel accepted in front of everybody.
I understood. They have been saying that there is a big deal, but they did not clarify any of the details. Now, when they are spreading the details in detail and saying that we should kick out each group and we should take their weapons, when we all know that this is not gonna happen, or at least each group won't agree. So this is like them telling like the whole world, like, we brought you and we already agreed, and look who's causing the problem. So step aside and let us take Gaza in front of all of you guys, in front of all the world's eyes, and watch how we're gonna steal Gaza.
Yeah, and that's what it's about.
This is why Netanyahu is obeying. Exactly, like he was yesterday saying that we did nothing wrong to Qatar and we're not gonna accept whatever that Trump is offering, and he was panicking. And today he's accepting and he's okay, and he apologized to Qatar, and like things flipped in 24 hours. So this is baked, and we have to wake up. And I believe if this is like, I hope that I'm just imagining, but I believe that that's not gonna happen, and they will do bad things here in Gaza. Unfortunately, the tanks are already all over the place in Gaza. The tanks are in the north. They are surrounding people. People are struggling. They are calling for anyone to save them, for the Red Cross, for the ambulances.
Yes.
It's getting bad even here in the central of Gaza. Like I'm in Nusayrat, every single day there is a bomb in the middle of the market with no reason, without any warning. So It is dangerous, and this has to stop. But unfortunately, this is a trap. What's happening now?
Yeah. And I was going to go over it, but I'm running out of time because I'm going to need to go live again, like maybe later. Because I've got the kiddos and stuff, but I will say this. So, one of the things that I saw is about the percentage of the casualties that are actually in the areas where they told Palestinians it would be safe. It's absolutely crazy. It's 100% crazy. So, right, exactly, Raja. Speeches and statements in the opposite direction. 100% agreed. Can we do before I go? Let me just say this because I'm going to come back later. Probably. Oh, who said they were going live at 10 o'clock? That's you, Amal, right? No, was that you?
Me? Yeah.
Or your brother? It was your brother.
My brother Muhammad.
Yes, it was your brother. Yes, Cam. Yeah. So listen. So for those of you guys that are part of the Normal Danikins, yeah. So we will be doing. We're gonna pick up on 107 days reading again together. So that's probably gonna be something that we do this evening. But can we do this before we go? First of all, remember that all of the links to help support folks are in my link tree. Okay. So Amal's link, Raja's link, Bilal's link, Muhammad OS's link, Abu Saraj's link, the link for Aziz, Calamantina link. Those are all in my link tree. Okay. So that's the first thing. Remember that prices for food and things are lower right now than they have been in a long time. So if you have extra to give, now is a great time to do so because it will help them get food while things are relatively low, okay? Or lower than they have been. Keep in mind that vegetables and meat are the most expensive things. You're talking $30 for a kilo of veggies and for 2 pounds of meat, upwards of 150, 160 bucks. Okay. Yeah. Amal, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that like I've been away for around 2 weeks. The last time I spoke to you, we were in Gaza, and after that time, I was trying my best to take care of my own family, my mom and my brothers, and then my husband's family because they have zero income source. So those are around 40 people. I did my best, alhamdulillah, and I was able to get through my own life. Around 5K to those families and being able to evacuate all of us now in the south and settle in, some of us in the tent, some of us in a room, renting a room. So it took me a while and after I settled my internet, so it's more like a 1 month for me not getting anything for my own family. So any support will be appreciated, wallah, guys.
Awesome. Appreciate you. I'm trying to think of like the last thing. So all the links are in there for everybody, right? Hi, Sacred Titi, mashallah. There was something else. Blah, 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 blah. Give me a second. I'm going to get there, folks. I'm going to tell everybody about the links. Where to help. The prices. Yeah. The prices, I was telling you guys, thank you, beautiful. Look at you getting me all the way together. Thank you. I need to reach back out to Brett. Okay. So just remember that if you have any extra to give, now's a good time to do so because the prices are low. Book reading will be later on this evening. There is something else and I've completely forgotten it, but it's okay. It just is what it is. Oh, last thing. Can we, Dirty Web Bloggers, I just read the entire thing to everybody. Okay. So I will be back again, Mohamed. I just got my granddaughters here. And so I need to take care of them. And then you can absolutely talk about the school shelter when I come back. So just make sure you're following me so you can come back. Okay. So I can do them. Okay. One more thing, folks, before we go, could we make sure that everybody that's on the panel right now is at least 2K in coins? Because that would be great if we could just do 2K in coins and make sure everybody's on at least that. What, baby? Yes, I will get you something to drink, ma'am. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Yeah, I know, Raja. He wants to control Gaza and then claim world peace, which is not a thing. The speech that I did on Saturday, I'm going to be putting up on my link tree. On my link tree. Geez, oh, Pete, on my YouTube and on my Facebook. So you will have all of that. And then maybe when I go live tonight, I'll play the speech for everybody to be able to see. Okay. We're almost there. Appreciate you guys gifting. Big W to everybody in the chat for making that happen. Yeah, they're International Peace Force, remember? Yeah. You should clip some smaller ones. Yeah, I will, Cam. Feel free to help. Look at you, Shimmy. Big W to Shimmy. Thank you very, very much. Look at that. All right, folks, we did it. I appreciate everybody a lot. And I will be live again later on today. If Abu Sarraj is live, then absolutely let's go raid Abu Sarraj, please. Everybody run to Abu Sarraj's page. Say, Danny Raid. I can be on his panel with my camera off and then take care of everybody else. So I can meet you guys over there. Got it? See you guys on Abu Sarraj's page. Love you all very much.